Saturday, September 5th, 2020, you are listening to the Inquisitive Bro podcast. Today, part one of our NFL preview, AFC edition. I'm Chris. They're the Petrovski Bros. Let's go. Okay, so the NFL season is upon us, starting on Thursday, and today I'm joined by two proud Macedonians who are also proud Steelers fans, Ryan and Connor Petrovski. How are you guys?
I'm doing okay, Chris. Thank you for having us on. I appreciate the opportunity.
I'm doing all right, Chris. Thanks for having us here.
Okay, yeah, so like I said, today we're just doing the AFC preview. The NFC preview is coming on a different date. But basically, what I've decided to do is create a little format to kind of get your guys' football juices flowing. Maybe, hopefully, some really hot takes are coming out, and we'll see how you guys do.
These takes are going to be very hot, Chris.
Yes.
The viewers and listeners better be ready.
Mostly listeners. We're not doing vlogs yet,
so we should, because we look great right now.
Yeah, I came dressed for nines.
Yeah, these guys dressed up for no reason whatsoever.
My three-piece suit is a waste.
I got a haircut.
Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're going to be breaking this down by division. I have team-based questions, personnel-based questions, and miscellaneous division-based questions. So basically what's going to happen is we're just going to start with the AFC, and we are going to start with the AFC East. Guys, the AFC East has the Pats, Bills, Jets, and Miami. According to OddsShark, the over-under for the Pats, 9 wins. Bills, also 9 wins. The Jets, 7 wins. Miami, 6.5 wins. It's pretty high for the Bills. But starting with team-based questions. Guys, in your opinion, most likely to surpass expectations?
I think the Patriots.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they're going to cruise through the division. I think they're going to get at least 10 wins. Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. He's got Cam Newton, who is not what he used to be 5 years ago, but he's still a talented guy. He's got a great arm. He'll learn the system. He's a hardworking dude. Their defense is still the best defense.
Can I ask you a question? Does Cam Newton still have a good arm? Because last time I checked, he had like a couple surgeries on it, and I thought it basically fell off.
Well, no. Cam Newton still has a powerful one. There's nothing about his arm in question. The thing about his arm is his accuracy, and the accuracy was going to be not so much of an issue when you're throwing 5-yard slants, which they've been doing for the past 20 years. Exactly. Tom Brady can do that. Anyone can do that.
Right, so his arm it doesn't have the power that he had in 2015. Granted.
Doesn't need to.
It doesn't need to, exactly. Anyone can succeed in this Patriot system. Jimmy Garoppolo succeeded. Jacoby Brissett succeeded in the system. These guys don't have cannon arms.
Well, Jacoby has a cannon.
Jacoby does, but he doesn't need it. What I'm saying is
he wasn't using his cannon arm.
You know who else succeeded in the system?
Brian Hoyer.
Matt Castle.
Oh, Matt Castle. Everybody succeeds in the system.
It's the system. It works.
Do you think you guys can succeed in the system?
I think I could
succeed. I think I could lead the Patriots to a 10-6 record this year.
Honestly, though, aside from that, the only based off your question, I think just the Bills are going to not surpass the 9 wins.
The Bills are my bust for
that's the biggest issue there. Yeah. I think everyone's a little bit too high on the Josh Allen train. I think the guy hasn't done nearly enough to show that he's actually a viable quarterback.
He had an okay season. He had an okay season. But
he's
can
he
repeat it? I don't think so.
It's not about he's just not an actual winner quarterback. He's just a body, which is fine.
You add Stephon Diggs to that offense, you would think, Josh Allen's going to be able to utilize him, but I don't think he will.
He's going to need to still make throws.
He's still going to overthrow the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Josh Allen not Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs just adds another great option that Josh Allen can overthrow consistently.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean.
If you want to get the ball in Stephon Diggs' hands, you better hope it's a fucking 5-yard screen or a slant or something.
Yeah. They got to start playing the Patriots' way. That's why they're getting beaten consistently the past 20 years in that division, because it's almost impossible to stop.
Josh Allen's going to run for 1,000 yards this year.
So you guys kind of jumped the lead on my second question. My second team-based question is most likely to disappoint within the division.
Hold on. What was the Jets?
The Jets, according to OddsShark, their over-under is 7 wins.
Yeah, they're not going to hit that.
That's true, but I don't think when you're talking about most likely to disappoint, we're talking about also you can have your own internal considerations. I mean, over-under is just based on what bettors are saying. I don't think a lot of people think the Jets are that good. Exactly. The Bills made the playoffs last year. Yeah. They have legitimate aspirations.
I think they will disappoint this year.
100%. I think so too.
Does that mean that you believe that they're missing the playoffs despite the extra playoff team that is coming in?
They're going to miss the playoffs. They're going to go. I would say the Bills go 8-8 this year. That's my projection for them.
Okay, so next team-based question I have is the Aaron Rodgers Memorial Hail Mary Award. Basically, it's the saving grace for an otherwise not-so-great team, potentially. To give you an idea, what I have is Bill Belichick.
How was that a Hail Mary? He's Bill Belichick.
He's their saving grace.
Okay, so who's going to carry their team?
Okay, what I think is a Hail Mary is...
You guys are reading way too into this.
Like Tua. Tua's a Hail Mary. If he comes back...
You don't expect much from him.
You don't expect
a Hail Mary
anything
is something you put up with no expectations at all. Hopefully it's good.
Pray to God. Hail Mary, this works.
So Tua would be a Hail Mary. That's a good one.
Tua's a Hail Mary.
Because you're praying to God it works.
No, but you don't understand. Aaron Rodgers Hail Marys work every time. This is something that...
that's fair. Okay, that's fair. All right.
This is something that is like a tried and true thing that when all else fails, they have this to lean on. I'm saying the Pats, they have Bill Belichick. He can lead them to 10 wins with or without Tom Brady. He's actually proven that he can still do double-digit wins without Tom Brady. They missed the playoffs when they won 10 wins with Matt Castle, but that's a different story.
Okay, to piggyback off what you're saying, if it's a tried and true thing, something you can rely upon, like an Aaron Rodgers 60-yard Hail Mary, I'm going to say it's the Patriots defense. That's what's going to carry the Pats to the division title. They're still the defense that they had last year. Sure, they have a couple guys opting out due to COVID, Patrick Chung and a couple other dudes, but they're still going to be a top 5 defense in the league, if you ask me. Cam Newton's not going to have to do everything to win games. They're going to win games 16-14. They're going to win games 21-10.
Are you sure they're going to be a top 5 defense next year? You know, have you checked how many people are out of COVID on the Patriots? A lot of people went out with COVID.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
A lot of linebackers. That's a big issue.
Yeah, sure.
So that's my point.
Their secondary was their...
Well, not only did the linebackers go out from COVID, they also just lost them literally to free agency. I mean, they lost Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, those are the fucking
really
main guys.
Yeah.
And then Hightower's COVID. So their 3 main linebackers gone.
And Patrick Chung's gone.
Mm-hmm. Man, their defense is hit.
Their defense is hit, but...
Then again, with that being said,
when we talk about the Patriots...
They don't care about their star guys.
Bill Belichick is a defensive coach.
Yeah, who was Van Noy?
Who are these guys without Bill Belichick anyway?
Exactly.
The next man up. Mm-hmm. The next man up, replacing Kyle Van Noy, is going to be every bit as good as Kyle Van Noy, if you ask me. Same thing with Jamie Collins. Maybe not Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower are like
they're
locker room talents, and too. Like they're good.
But a guy like Patrick Chung you can replace. A guy like Kyle Van Noy you can replace. Most of them are replaceable, honestly.
I think that's Bill Belichick's mantra throughout his life.
Yeah.
Most of them are
Tom
replaceable.
Brady, 6-time Super Bowl winner, replace him.
I don't even think he stops at like football team. I think he talks about his personal life too. I mean,
His wife's not doing it. Replaced. Next woman up.
Cut her salary.
Connor. So I had Bill Belichick. Ryan had Pat's defense. Do you want to have a unique answer? Or you just going to
you guys just stole the good team. Like
you can have the first one for my next award.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no other like good team I want to like support in the AFC East. Like the Jets suck.
Nothing on the Bills is a saving grace.
I mean, you could have said Bills defense, for example.
The Bills defense is good, but I want to say it's like their saving grace. It's their whole team. That's like what they're based around. They have a game manager in Josh Allen. He's not exactly winning games in his arm. Their team is based off their defense, so that's not really a saving grace. Their saving grace would be Josh Allen turning into a good quarterback. Like,
but that's not an Aaron Rodgers saving grace. That's like a real Hail Mary.
No, we were just talking shit about him, but I think Josh Allen could be like an actual like positive for Buffalo.
Well, he's very physically talented. Like, he can run the ball.
He's not going to get injured.
People underestimate his ability to run the ball.
No, I don't think they do anymore. I think people realize this guy's a goddamn body. He's a Cam Newton body.
Yeah, he's just like Cam Newton when Cam Newton was young.
Yeah.
He wants to get 5 yards on the ground, he will get them.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I think that people, like, are just underestimating his arm at some point. They're going to have to, like, start backing up.
We're going to switch to the next one.
Okay.
Next team-based award. Or question, I should say. The Todd Gurley Arthritic Knee Award, a.k.a. Achilles heel of otherwise good team. You guys were talking about Josh Allen. I had Josh Allen / the Bills QB situation.
Yeah.
The Bills are a really good all-around team. I question whether Josh Allen is a good enough QB to lead them to the playoffs 2 years in a row. I question his arm. There's I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a stat on Football Reference. It's called Passer Completion Plus. It's an index. Basically, it takes into account all your passes where 100 is average and every one or up or below is a percentage point above or below average. Josh Allen was 80, i.e. he was 20% below your average QB in accuracy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, of course. That
he's
doesn't surprise me at all.
He's not an accurate guy. He's got a cannon of an arm. and he's pretty good on the ground, but he's not an accurate quarterback.
But then again, that comes back to the Cam Newton comparison. That's exactly what Cam Newton was till he had an MVP season. All of a sudden, he became an accurate quarterback for 1 year, and then forgot again, and he forgot again. But at the same time, like Josh Allen, I think has that capacity of like getting up to that. Like you can't teach power, but you can teach accuracy. And as long as all you gotta do is just throw those slants and play smart football. And Carolina did that for a year, went to the Super Bowl.
But does Josh Allen play smart football?
I think
it's easy to say play smart football.
He only played 2 years.
Connor.
But he's not exactly known for his intelligence on the field.
Let me just say this, like Connor, that take right there where you can't teach power, but you can teach accuracy, you would do great in the Raiders front office.
Yeah. Oh my God, exactly.
You can't teach speed.
Yeah, exactly. Henry Ruggs, first pick overall.
Okay, so I said Josh Allen. Any Achilles heels you see out of these 4 teams in this West? In this division.
Let me clarify something. This Achilles heel is something hindering an otherwise good team, you said?
Likely. I mean,
There's
if you want to,
few of those. In
that's
the
true.
AFC,
If you want to talk about like a bad team that also has just like a really
like
bad,
a glaring flaw.
yeah.
Okay.
Other than talent, you can't be like the Jets. Talent.
Yeah, they're not good enough.
That's not.
You need a little more specificity.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
That was the genesis of that question.
I think everyone's way too high on Adam Gase in general.
Adam Gase with the Jets.
Yeah.
That's a good pick too. Adam Gase. Jets coaching.
Bad coaching in general.
Yeah.
Adam Gase is a terrible coach.
Okay, we're gonna move on because obviously already this.
Hold on, I didn't get my pick.
Fine, go.
I want to say the Patriots receivers are going to be their downfall. I think their only talented receiver is N'Keal Harry.
When the hell have they ever had good receivers?
They didn't need them because Tom.
You don't think Julian Edelman?
I think Julian Edelman is done.
Well, he's had about 7 concussions.
34 years old.
He'll have his retirement tour, his little walk of fame, if you will, and then he's done after this year. Or he'll go to Tampa Bay.
You're not high on Mohamed Sanu then?
As much as I love Mohamed Sanu, I don't think he's going to be effective in the Patriot system.
Whoa, Sanu's a better receiver than a lot of receivers.
He's very good.
Sanu's a better quarterback than a lot of quarterbacks.
if the Bills had Mohamed Sanu as their quarterback,
oh my God, 100%. You're going right to the bowl. Give him a ring. Have you looked at Mohamed Sanu's numbers before as a quarterback?
He's got like a 158.3 rating.
The guy's thrown the ball like 7 times. He's got 6 touchdowns. It's insane.
Okay, so with all that said, we're going to the next question then. Just simply rank these teams in the AFC East in order that you think they'll finish. For me, I think it's Pats, Bills, Dolphins, Jets.
I think it's Pats, Bills, Jets, Dolphins.
I agree with Ryan. I think Dolphins are going to be the worst. I think Sam's a better quarterback than Tua, for sure.
Tua's not going to play until like week 10.
No.
Dude, he's got hip surgery.
Dude, he's fine. They said that he's fine.
He's fine.
He's starting week 1.
They're going to be very careful with him. He's a first-round pick. He's a number 5 overall
They don't
pick.
give a shit, dude. This is not how it's played anymore. This isn't fucking Aaron Rodgers.
They don't need to risk his injury.
But it's like it's not even about his injury. He's been good to go for like 6 months now, man. He's good. It's about wasting the pick. You don't sit first overall picks anymore. This isn't guy.
He's not a first overall.
Second overall.
He's 5th.
He was 5th.
5th.
Still first pick.
They tanked for him, so.
They did tank for him.
Okay, we're going to the personnel-based questions. I have a question that I'm using for this division, but I don't have it for every division. It is the Antonio Brown Memorial Toxic Teammate Award, aka most likely to sabotage their team despite all their talents. Examples of potential guys: Stephon Diggs, Josh Norman, Cam Newton. For example, does he fit in the culture? What if he's benched? Le'Veon Bell.
Cam Newton's the opposite, I think. Cam Newton's going to be amazing for the culture.
Yeah, I think so too. Cam Newton he's a gamer. Yeah. The guy wants to win games.
Cam
more
Newton
than anything.
is completely switched.
He's focused.
Yeah.
He's ready.
You can even tell by the way like the management staff of the Patriots talk about him. They are like high on Cam Newton's. Like,
okay, but one thing about the Patriots is like, look, they'll say great things about you and then they'll cut you week 2.
Well, that's fair too.
I don't trust what they're saying, but I will say this. I agree with you guys in the sense that Cam Newton used to be a tremendous talent, and he still has a lot of potential if he gets over some of the injury issues that he had in the past years, which is very reasonable that he could. And also, never doubt a guy who has a huge chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Like, that guy has, like, a big, like, fuck you attitude.
He's got something
That's
to
a
prove
huge thing. That's a massive issue, especially in football when it's so, like, a mental game, especially the quarterback. It's a huge thing.
His record, the record of the team is tied to his legacy.
Yeah, exactly. But he has the talent. That's the difference too. I think he knows he has the talent, and now I think he realizes he has the personnel to do it. Now.
Exactly. No, not necessarily the personnel, but the coach.
No, that's coach. That's personnel.
Exactly. Well,
he's got
He's
got what he needs to do.
Organization.
He's got the tools that he needs to.
He finally
to be
is
good.
in a system where he can be effective. They're gonna involve a little bit of RPO.
They're gonna do a little bit, and especially around the goal line. They're already a run first team. They've always been like a run first team, and they're at the same. They're gonna just do that a lot more. They're just gonna focus more on the.
You know how Tom Brady gets like 11 rushing touchdowns a year on QB sneaks?
Well, yeah,
we're gonna double that for Cam Newton.
That's already goes without saying.
Cam Newton doesn't work out as a quarterback. He can always be a fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
He would be a phenomenal fullback or an elite tight end.
He already plays fullback.
My answer for this was Stephon Diggs. Like, if that guy was complaining about
Minnesota.
In Minnesota, what was happening there, then just wait till he gets a load of Josh Allen. And when he even gets targeted and he's getting missed by 10 yards?
No, I think the issue in Minnesota is that Thielen started outplaying him, and that's what got to Stephon.
Thielen's a better receiver
Well,
than
that's
Stephon.
fine. I agree. But it's close.
I think he's a better all-around
I think he's a
receiver.
better receiver for how Kirk Cousins plays football.
Yes.
I think Stephon actually could be really good with Josh Allen.
Stephon can stretch the field way better than Thielen can.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why I say this.
He's a better fit with Josh Allen than he was with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think Stephon just like he wants to be a number one guy. He doesn't want a 1A or 1B situation. He just wants to be one. And
But
John Brown is.
Don't you think he is going to be the one? John Brown's not the talent.
That's my point. I think that's why I think he'll be fine in Buffalo in general. I don't think he's gonna have any like.
I don't think he's a bad guy.
personality
I think
issues.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
an asshole like other receivers.
I mean,
don't think he's a
def-
prima donna.
He's definitely a prima donna.
Do you think he is?
He acts
I
like
think
it.
he's just he's an upset kid.
He's about as prima donna as like most good receivers are.
Where would he rank in prima donna rankings if you had to
Well,
rank
like
the
number
wide
one prima
receivers?
donna is Odell Beckham. Number
by
two,
a mile.
Number two is probably Michael Thomas.
Number one's Odell Beckham. Number 2 and 3 are Odell Beckham.
Yeah, fair. But then Michael Thomas is up there too.
Michael Thomas
he's
is a prima
the
donna.
worst.
Who else is a big one?
Stefan's up there. I can't even think of anybody else.
I think he's just an upset kid. I think deep down he's a good guy. I think in the right system he will shut his mouth.
Yeah, what? When anyone's winning, they're gonna shut their fucking mouth. But in general, like, is Buffalo gonna be winning like that?
No.
He'll be getting his numbers up. That's when maybe he'll shut his mouth because of that. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see about that.
Okay, moving
We'll see
on.
Stephon Diggs. We'll see.
Moving on. I have a question called Start Bench Cut. It's my take on Marry Fuck Kill, basically. So Start Bench Cut. Stephon Diggs, Julian Edelman, Devontae Parker. Ryan, you go this time.
I'm going to start Stephon Diggs, and I'm going to cut Julian Edelman. Because Stephon Diggs is young and super talented. He's a great route runner. He's got excellent hands. He's got a good nose for the end zone. Whereas Julian Edelman is at the tail end of his career. I think he could have retired 2 years ago and it would have benefited him in the Hall of Fame talk.
I don't know about Hall of Fame talk. It's Julian Edelman.
Hold on.
Julian Edelman's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not saying he is, but if he retired 2 years ago,
Shut up.
after the Super Bowl where he made a friggin' amazing
Shut
catch.
up. Julian Edelman's not a Hall of Famer, man.
I don't know, man.
Not in close. He's Wes Welker, but worse. He had Wes Welker, but like
Wes
8
Welker's
less
a Hall
years.
of Famer,
8
dude.
less years than Wes Welker, though. It's like Wes Welker, but with like 6 less years on his name.
Julian Edelman made a catch and won a Super Bowl.
He did do that. So did David Tyree. Is he a Hall of Famer? So did Mario Manningham.
Maybe he should be.
Mario Manningham made a great catch.
Either way, Julian Edelman, to go back to my original point, is done. I wouldn't have him on my team. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a devout Steelers fan. If Julian Edelman joined the team, I would hope he didn't get any touches. I don't want him on the field at all.
What are you talking about? Okay, no. Why are you saying this?
He's old and slow.
His
route running is gone.
He's not that slow. He is old. I'll give you that.
He's very old.
He's still a.
Someone called that a
He's like-
veteran.
He's a veteran.
He's a
exactly.
veteran. He's like a Ryan Switzer.
He's so much better than Ryan Switzer. How dare you put that on his
Is
name?
he now? Did you see him last
Are
year?
you? Have you ever seen Ryan Switzer? You watch
Yeah,
the
Ryan
Steelers,
Switzer was
right?
a bit of a nightmare.
Ryan Switzer's awful.
He was a nightmare.
It's trash.
On special teams, he was okay.
Julian Edelman's good, man. Julian like he has hands for days.
It's great hands.
What?
You don't lose hands with age.
Exactly. Ryan Switzer doesn't have the. Why are we talking about Ryan Switzer? No, let's put that aside. Julian Edelman is a good receiver. There's no doubt about it. I think the biggest issue is only a couple years left in
Okay,
the
fine.
tank.
I get you. Is he better than Devontae Parker?
No, I agree. I was going to say I totally
Okay,
agree.
well then what are you saying?
I don't know. I'm just saying
Okay.
Julian Edelman's not that bad. Julian
Would you
Edelman's-
agree with me then? Start
No, I
Diggs.
agree with that entirely.
Connor, I have a bonus Start Bench Cut, and I'll go to you for this one.
Okay.
Start Bench Cut. Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, definitely cut Fitzpatrick. The guy's
What? Start Fitzpatrick.
What are we talking about?
We get some magic.
Yeah, maybe for one game situation. But
Wait, who was it again?
it was Darnold,
Josh Allen, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Who are you starting?
Like this. I want to throw
Essentially, I'm asking who's the second best quarterback in this division.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Jarrett Stidham? It might be Jarrett Stidham.
It's Tua. It's definitely Tua.
No, it's not either of those. I would honestly have to go with. I'm gonna go with start Josh Allen, bench Sammy, and cut Fitzpatrick. Obviously,
You can't cut Fitzpatrick. That'll come back to bite you.
That goes without saying. We're gonna cut Fitzpatrick. Well, Tua is the starter. In reality, I probably would still even cut Tua. Like there's nothing.
Hold on, we're not talking about Tua.
I know, but I want to say we're talking about the rest of the people in the division, and Tua is actually.
But I asked those
You
three.
gave me three specific.
I specifically
Okay,
asked
well-
those three guys because they're going to be the starters on the other
Fair,
teams,
fair.
not named Cam Newton.
Fair. You think Fitzpatrick's gonna start?
Yeah, he is. Tua's injured, dude.
Man, for how long?
For as long as they feel ready until they want to start him.
Well,
and
okay.
they're going to be so bad this year. They're not going to push him early.
This is the year to push him early.
If they start 5-1, they're going to throw him out there.
That's a stupid. If they start 5-1, they're gonna keep the fucking thing going.
Yeah, sure.
Fitzmagic again.
Whatever. If it's Fitzmagic, it's Fitzmagic. Whatever.
Nah, they're gonna start him by week 2.
If they start him by week 2 and he gets hurt, they're screwed forever.
Okay,
What do
well,
you mean? That's
Ryan,
anybody.
Ryan, then who? Switching back to you, then start, bench, cut out of those guys. What's your order?
I'm going to start Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm going to bench Ryan Fitzpatrick because I want Ryan Fitzpatrick on my bench.
Oh,
the
my.
guy is a natural born leader, and he's a brilliant man. He is the
That's a funny-
perfect backup quarterback.
That's a funny
He's
way to
a
look at the
perfect
question.
backup quarterback.
That's not what. That's.
I know it's not what the question asked,
Yeah, that's-
but if I'm
Hey,
making a
That's
team,
a funny way to look
You
at the
can
question.
interpret that question however you
I
I
know,
want.
interpret it
know,
the way
that's a
which
very-
guy do I want as a backup?
Yeah.
I want Fitzpatrick as my backup.
It's a very good way to look at the
And I will
question.
cut Darnold if I have to.
Fuck that shit though. I'm still going 2 young guys. One gets injured, switching to the other
Yeah,
one.
because you're playing Madden.
If anything, not even that. I'm playing Madden. No, I think that it's incentive to try harder. Like Sam Darnold would know that Fitzpatrick's not going to steal his job, but if Josh Allen's on his
But
ass,
Fitzpatrick has stolen many jobs in his life.
no.
He steals them all the time.
Whose job?
He's been on
falls.
7 teams and
He
started on
falls
all of
into
them.
jobs. He doesn't steal jobs, dude. He's not goddamn.
He's given jobs.
He's been given jobs.
He falls ass backwards into them all the time.
And he holds them, but he doesn't steal them. He's not running away with starting gigs here.
No, people that steal jobs don't leave teams very often.
No, definitely not. He's a perennial backup. I don't understand why we're even talking about
That's
it.
why I'm benching him. I want him as my backup. He'll
No.
learn the system and he'll execute the system perfectly if I
Just
have to.
because you're a backup for a long time does not make you a good quarterback. Being
Okay,
a starter is
as
better.
a Steelers fan, Connor, would you not want Ryan Fitzpatrick as our backup right now instead of Mason Rudolph or Devin Hodges?
Well, that goes without saying. Those guys are also backup quarterbacks. But I'm saying, like,
Who's better?
sure, as a Steelers fan, would you want Charlie Batch as your quarterback?
Absolutely.
No, man.
He's the best backup
Backups are
quarterback ever.
backups. There's a reason why they're backups.
They know the system very well. That's what you want from a backup quarterback.
Brad-
not to win a game, but
Okay,
to
well-
not lose a game.
Yeah, that's fair. And the backups can do that. Like Brandon Hoyer, I think is a backup quarterback who somehow can play starter sometimes.
His name is Brian Hoyer.
It's his cousin Brandon Hoyer.
But yeah,
Okay, we're switching topics. This is an open-ended question. Feel free to interpret it as you want. But in the AFC East, who is the biggest bitch?
Le'Veon Bell.
Why?
Is the biggest bitch. He
oh my God.
cried and complained and held out to leave a title contending team.
Oh, this is your inner Steelers fan.
No,
This
it's
is,
not even-
no, this is 100% coming from bias.
no, but it's not even that. If you just look at the situation, like without bias, like he complains about leaving the Steelers about money. Fair, whatever. Be yourself.
And then he takes less money.
Whatever. Takes less money. Again, he's an asshole. Wants to go to New York, do his thing. But then when Jamal Adams does the exact same thing, he starts calling out Jamal Adams for being not a team player and a shitty person. Are you? Where were you 2 years ago?
He is a self-werewolf.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's insane. That's what I think makes him the biggest bitch. It's like there's one thing to like with Kevin Durant as an example. Like you can be a big bitch but like acknowledge you're a bitch sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
you're going for those rings. He left to go to a shittier team for less money, and then when someone else does the same thing to go to a better team for the same money, it's you're the worst. You're not a team player. Like no, he is the biggest bitch in the AFC East, hands down.
But you're missing a key difference between Adams and Le'Veon Bell from his perspective. Le'Veon Bell, that's him. That was him who did that. He wanted to do it.
My yardage,
Yeah.
my touchdowns, my money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I don't
you
care
go
about
away
you.
from me.
Yeah, I
don't
can't
care
feel
about
what
you.
you feel.
I'm worried about my feelings feeling good for me.
The only feelings I can have.
Have you considered that?
Honestly, now I'm thinking about it. That's a good point.
It's a good point.
He doesn't
think about other people.
No, he is a little narcissistic.
Yeah,
but that's why he's the AFC East's biggest bitch.
I like how you guys said that in synchro.
we were keying on to that.
Okay, we're going to miscellaneous cues. These are division-specific questions. First question: over under 6.5 weeks until Cam Newton is either benched or cut for Jarrett Stidham.
Over.
Way over.
So you think he's going to play probably the entire season?
I think he'll play into the playoffs.
Honestly, if you want to talk about real prediction, I think the whole season is going to be canceled by week 8. Ooh. With coronavirus.
Now that's a prediction.
Okay, this is a separate take I have, but we can get into the COVID thing now.
Yeah.
I just have I believe that the NFL is the type of place where they will have no COVID cases on their teams because everyone will get cut when they have COVID. Yeah. Our team has no COVID cases. He was cut.
We took him out back to the training yard and executed him. We have no COVID case.
Rest assured, the NFL takes COVID very seriously.
If any good player gets cut with COVID, they will be signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the next day.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to last very long. There's no way you can stop COVID from spreading in this type of environment.
Well, think about baseball. I mean, baseball has a smaller roster. At its max was about 35 people traveling with the team, and they were getting COVID cases a decent amount.
Yeah,
it's now mitigated, but think about the 52-man rosters on NFL teams. 53. Oh, shit. One extra person.
Oh, God. That guy's definitely got corona.
And then they're allowing...
That's all it takes.
And then they're allowing fans into the stadiums because, why not?
There's no way it's not going to happen. It's going to happen.
That's why depth might be a big thing this year.
I think the season's going to get canceled. I'm telling you, it's going to get canceled.
If Tom Brady gets COVID, the season gets canceled.
Patrick Mahomes gets thing, it's done.
Exactly. One major guy gets COVID, it's done.
Because every team's going to be like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, not fair.
I would complain if I was.
If Ben Roethlisberger gets COVID, I'm
losing my shit. I'm writing an email to Roger Goodell, tell him to cancel the league, start again.
The Goodell bot does not answer.
No, I'll make sure.
Auto response to all emails. We thank you for your interest in the NFL.
Okay, next question: is Josh Allen Buffalo's undisputed starting QB by next year?
Absolutely,
100%.
You think so?
They're pretty invested in him.
Yeah.
So I guess the genesis of that question is: do you think he's gonna have a good enough year where they're not questioning whether they should move on from quarterback?
I think even if he has a terrible year, they're not going to move on from him.
I don't think they're going to move on from next year, regardless. But he could turn into a Mitchell Trubisky situation.
Well, undisputed. It's basically I'm asking about Mitchell Trubisky, for example, where going into next year, is there the potential where it's okay, there's a little QB battle, we're not sure about him. Maybe there's kind of a veteran free agent we picked up, or maybe we just drafted a guy in the 4th round.
I don't think that's going to happen. What I think, the only scenario I think where Josh Allen has no job security is if they come dead last and draft Trevor Lawrence.
Well, that for sure. He loses his job if they get Trevor
Buffalo
Lawrence.
comes dead last and they have a shot at Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen is out the door.
Well, yeah, of course. But at the same time, I still think Josh Allen and the Mitchell Trubisky thing is kind of a little dirt on Josh Allen's name. Josh Allen has never been seen to be that bad. But I still think that comparison is still somewhat apt. They're both a little more mobile than they should be. They're both inaccurate quarterbacks. I still think Josh Allen's a little better. But with that being said, I think this is not undisputed. I think at the end of this year, it's going to be a lot more in questions about Josh Allen. I don't think it's going to be his year.
Do you think there's enough options out there to dispute Josh Allen as a starting quarterback? The guy took them to the playoffs last year. Okay. If he has an off year, do you think they're going to ditch a young, talented quarterback just because of some Nick Foles type player is available on the
What if Fitzmagic is available?
Yeah. Do you
Bring
think
him back to Buffalo
is going to challenge Josh Allen?
Can you imagine him back in Buffalo?
Oh,
that'd be magic.
They'd win the Super Bowl for sure.
Is that a win or a loss for the Bills if they have to?
6
years later, starting Fitzpatrick again.
48-year-old Fitzpatrick is starting in the year 2026.
His beard's down to his kneecaps.
Okay, over under 3.5 weeks until Tua gets his first start.
I'm gonna say over. I think he starts week 5 or 6.
I say under. I've been very clear. I think under. I think this whole Fitzpatrick thing is nonsense. They're not gonna waste time with this.
Ryan, do you change your mind if they start 0-2?
If they start 0-2, I think they're gonna sit Tua until not only is he ready physically, injury-wise, ready to play. I think until they know that either A, they have a shot at the playoffs, or B, they have absolutely no shot at the playoffs. Does Tua ever start?
They start the season with absolutely no shot at the playoffs. I can tell you that.
Hold on. If Fitzmagic goes up to a 4-1 start,
Check who they play week 1 and 2.
first week they got the Patriots.
That's a loss.
That's a big old loss. Then they got the Bills. Another loss,
100%.
likely. Week 3 they have the Jaguars. I could see them winning that game.
Yeah, maybe.
Even with Fitzpatrick, I don't care if it's Tua or Fitzpatrick, they might win that game. The Jaguars are going to be tanking.
That's the closest one so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they got the Seahawks, Niners.
Loss.
Easy loss. And the Broncos, I think, will beat them.
So what was that?
No matter who's the
So
quarterback.
at best they're gonna 2-6 here. We're talking.
At best, if they get a lucky win, they're going
Tua's starting.
2-4 starting in the first 6 games.
Tua's starting for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
I don't think they're going to risk injuring. Look, Tua is their future.
Future
They
of what?
invested huge draft capital in this guy. A top 5 pick on a quarterback. This is their future. They're going to make sure he's ready before they put him on the field.
That's actually good. That's a good point. I just want to jump in here in that when I said over under 3.5 weeks, like when you're talking about teams like the Seahawks and 49ers,
You don't want to start him against those guys.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually matter how bad your team is doing because you don't want your guy who's coming off a dislocated hip who you put as the number 5 overall going against those juggernaut teams. Throw Ryan Fitzpatrick against there. Maybe he gets lucky. Maybe throws 4 interceptions. That's like one or the other. But worst case scenario, like Tua isn't going in there and can get fucked.
Right.
That's
Like
fair.
maybe
That's a fair
when
point.
they're 1-5, they
I was
throw him
gonna
in
say,
against
yeah.
the Jets or something.
No, not even that. But right there against the Broncos, I'd say you start him. Broncos.
Maybe Broncos. They got the
Broncos,
Chargers. I wouldn't
Chargers.
start him against the Chargers. Joey Bosa. I wouldn't start him against the Chargers.
Okay, you're gonna be.
I'd
scared
start him
of
against
every-
the Jets. I think
Okay, then,
he starts.
then you got the Rams next. It's Aaron Donald. You can't start him then.
No,
You got the
I think
Cardinals.
Cardinals, Jets. He starts one of those games.
Those are some cushy matchups. I mean, if you start him against the Broncos, then you got like some pretty good outside linebackers
Yeah,
in
that's
Von Miller and Bradley Chubb who could maybe put a
That's
number
what I
on
mean.
Tua there.
Those are some good
They
defenses.
play the Jets in back-to-back weeks.
That's proper scheduling.
Isn't
right
that
there.
kind of crazy?
NFL's got some good scheduling.
Playing the same team twice in
I've
a
seen
row.
that happen before.
Well, there's the perfect time for Tua, right? If they week
Jets,
one.
Jets.
Well, no,
Play.
I mean like start
crazy?
Ryan Fitzpatrick the first time if
and
he
then,
loses,
and then start
it's Tua
Tua
time.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's
think-
exactly when they're going to
I
start.
don't think Tua's gonna. I mean, not Tua. I don't think Fitzpatrick's gonna lose a lot of games though. I think they're gonna
They're going to surprise.
scrape by.
You're going to surprise?
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going on to the next question. Is Adam Gase the Jets head coach next year?
I'll go to UConn.
No.
Same answer.
Okay, yeah, we can keep it
definitely.
quick.
He's awful.
Okay, this one's a kind of a long-winded question. Sports Illustrated said that Sam Darnold is poised to be the Jets' first franchise QB since Joe Namath. Thoughts on that take?
My first thought
Is
is,
Geno Smith?
what happened to Geno Smith?
Yeah, like
What happened to the Sanchez?
What happened to Sanchez?
franchise too. Great idea.
Didn't Vinny Testaverde play for the Jets?
Yeah, Chad Pennington also
Chad
an
Pennington,
amazing stud.
Franchise Pennington.
Come on, you guys are the all-time leader in completion percentage.
They used to call him Franchad, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So
Pennington.
I guess I'm getting the theme of that is laughable.
I
Yeah,
think the fact that they haven't had a franchise quarterback since the friggin' 70s is nuts.
Super Bowl III, Joe Namath was in, man.
Yeah, that's 1970.
It's pretty crazy. 1969.
69. Whatever. He played into the
Pretty
70s.
nuts.
Yeah. And they haven't had one since. If Sam Darnold's the next one, great for him. I would love to see that. I am a big believer in Sam Darnold. I think he's a good
I
talent.
think he's awesome too. I think he belongs in New York. He's like, I think he's got everything New York
He's
needs.
Broadway Sam.
Yeah, he'll make out with everybody.
He'll make out with
He'll
anyone.
get bit.
He'll be. You know what? I'm gonna make a prediction. He's the first one to get COVID in the NFL.
Oh, for sure, he already has it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's already had
spread
it.
it to 7 people. already.
Okay, last miscellaneous question. Does Le'Veon Bell deliver on his contract?
Absolutely
I
not.
don't think he's ever delivered on anything.
No.
That asshole. No, I'm kidding. Bias aside, I think Lev Bell actually is a good running back.
He
He's a
delivered on
he's a-
his
yeah.
rookie deal. I mean, if you look at his first few years
Big
with
time
the
delivery
Steelers,
on his rookie deal. But hold on.
I'm gonna lose
that
my
Steelers
mind.
offense.
He's gonna talk about the Steelers offense. Oh my. Okay, Bell was amazing in that
He
offense.
was a counterpiece
question.
to that offense. He was not the feature of that offense. The offensive line was phenomenal when he was there.
how many rushing yards do you think you could get with that offensive line, Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger as your coach? I mean, as your QB, drawing all the attention away from you.
If you gave me like 3 months to work out, I'll get 1,000
No,
yards.
you guys are putting some real dirt on it. That's really crazy.
I'm saying 1,000 yards I would get and 500 receiving yards out of the backfield.
Nuts. Aside from the hatred I have for Lev Bell, He actually was really good.
He's talented
in Pittsburgh, and he switched up the way like running backs, some like even play football.
He changed the game for a lot of guys.
He's a patient running back, probably more patient than anyone I've ever seen with like Arian Foster. But like
Arian Foster was very patient too, but he was very much a one-cut back.
Yeah,
whereas Le'Veon Bell
is much more patient, I guess, in that sense. But I still think like put him on the level of Arian Foster is a pretty nice thing to say. Like that's a
he's Arian Foster with more physical talent.
Yeah.
One thing that Le'Veon Bell doesn't have that Arian Foster did was a doppelganger. Did you guys ever see that online?
Arian Foster was a doppelganger?
Oh my god. This is actually hilarious. You guys gotta look this up. Arian Foster had a doppelganger in Houston. He was such a lookalike. He would just go to bars and be like, yeah, I'm Arian Foster.
I wouldn't be surprised. I went to Kansas City.
I know this story. This is a great story.
I went to a Kansas City Royals game once, and Alex Gordon plays for the Royals, and I'm not a big baseball guy, so I'm just like running to get beer in between the innings. And I see this guy dressed to the nines in a full-out, like, baseball uniform, like a guy who'd be on the field playing right there, and he looks exactly like Alex Gordon, same exact beard, same everything. And I'm like, why is no one, like, talking to this guy? It's Alex goddamn Gordon, but I think maybe it's Kansas City. This is, like, a normal thing. Maybe he just comes and gets drinks in between the innings. I don't know. So I run up.
That's what blows my mind. You see an MLB baseball player in full uniform getting a fucking taco.
It was a Coke. He was grabbing a large Coke.
Oh, normal.
Yeah, no, I didn't think, oh, normal. I thought, oh, God, I got to get a picture with Alex Gordon. So I run up with my camera ready, and I'm like, can I get a picture with you? And I took the picture.
That's a doppelganger.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying.
They just pulled up a doppelganger on me, and it is
of Arian Foster. He is a clone of Arian Foster.
Not what I want to see.
I miss that guy.
I think we are in the simulation.
But this Alex Gordon story
just
kills me.
Yeah, so
you walk up to what you think is an MLB baseball player in full uniform during the middle of a game where he would be playing.
No, he wasn't playing that day.
But why would he be in uniform?
I thought maybe he was on the bench.
Why would he be in uniform?
He's on the bench the day. You know what I mean?
To Connor's credit, I mean, it's not like baseball players are the epitome of being healthy and in shape.
That's what I'm saying. Guy grabbing a Coke, whatever. You know, it's Alex Gordon. He's G. And so I run up.
He's a G.
I run up to him and got the picture, and everyone like was looking at me weird, but I was like, whatever. I thought maybe they're just jealous.
We are moving on. Now we are moving to the AFC North. So the AFC North, Ravens, according to OddsShark, over-under is 11.5 wins.
Big time under.
Last year, according to Football Outsiders DVOA, the Ravens, 5th-ranked defense, 1st offense, 4th special teams. Then we have the Steelers, over-under 9.5 wins. Last year, 3rd defense, 31st offense last year. I mean, that has a lot to do with Ben Roethlisberger being injured. Over-under on the Browns, 8.5 wins. Last year, 24th on defense, 20th on offense, 15th on special teams. And finally, we have Cincinnati over under 5.5 wins. Last year, they were 30th on defense, 29th on offense, but a very sterling 1st on special teams.
I disagree with like all of those.
Those are over-unders. So 11.5 Baltimore, Connor, what do you think? Over-under.
Fuck, that actually is a good one.
Hey,
that's probably the closest one. So
First, the closest one.
First, let me go to the team-based questions. This is my format.
Oh, sorry.
Please guide us, Chris.
Go ahead.
Most likely to surpass expectations. Connor, go first.
Well, the expectations for Cincinnati is atrocious. So I'm gonna leave the Steelers for Ryan because I think they're gonna do that regardless.
You think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to go
more than
6 wins or more?
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Okay.
Giving the Cincinnati Bengals 5 games is kind of a slap in the face. They're not like, I mean, they're a bad team.
Did you not hear what he said? They had the best special teams. That's good for 4 games right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, it's not because it only got them 2.
Yeah, it's definitely not good for anything. Well, it's good for something, but not that. Not winning games. I don't know. I think that with a new quarterback in place, that no tape on them, there's a lot more randomness in football this year. It's going to be a good time for Cincinnati, and I think their defense isn't that bad. I think their offensive line's better, and I don't know.
I think Joe Burrow can be the real deal.
Yeah, I think 5 games is pretty just not it.
Okay, so most likely to surpass expectations. You guys
Pittsburgh, for me, is obviously...
It's also mine.
Yeah. Like, what was it, 9.5?
9.5. So...
Yeah. I honestly think that Pittsburgh, if Ben stays healthy all year, they will win 12 games. I think we win the division. I'm a big Steelers fan. This is clear bias coming across here, but I honestly think that with Devlin Hodges and Mason Rudolph as our quarterbacks, and we had a not terrible season last year, if we bring back Hall of Fame Ben Roethlisberger And by all accounts, he's looking like the best Ben that I've seen in a very long time. He's looking lean. He's looking focused. He's looking ready to win games. This guy is on a title hunt. And I think that if he plays the way he's looking like he's going to play, and if he plays all year, we win 12 games with this defense.
Quick question. Is Devlin Hodges the best third-string QB in the NFL?
He's the best third-string quarterback of all
I
time.
think he's the only third-string quarterback.
Most of them are punters.
No, I think the best one actually is Mohamed Sanu.
I agree with you, Ryan. I also have the Steelers most likely to surpass expectations, to jump the lead. I actually think they're going to win this division. 2 reasons for that. One, their defense is mostly intact, and you probably knew this, but I don't know if a lot of people know this, in that they actually led the league last year in turnovers. Second most interceptions, second most in fumbles. The other team that was close to them in turnovers was the Patriots. But basically, everything that could have gone bad did go bad for the Steelers, specifically on the offensive end of the ball. And I think with a healthy Big Ben, it's going to be more revitalized offense. I think Juju is going to have a much better year than he did last year.
Juju's going to have a good year. We also lost James Conner for a lot last year, and I don't think James Conner's a feature back.
James Conner wasn't the issue.
He's not the guy.
No.
But, hold on. We have James Conner. We have Jalen Samuels. We also drafted Anthony McFarland. We have Benny Snell.
No,
we have a backfield.
The backfield, not an issue. The problem, I think, was the receivers. We have nobody aside from Juju, but now we actually have Chase, who I think will actually be a better receiver this year than Juju's going to play as.
You think Chase is going to do better than Juju Smith?
Yeah, I think Chase is going to take over as the number one receiver.
I think Chase is going to be a phenomenal receiver. I think all of you listeners that are going into a fantasy draft that hasn't happened yet, steal Chase Claypool in the second to last round.
Yeah, no.
He's worth a flyer. This guy is Calvin Johnson speed. He's 6'4", 230-something pounds. This guy's a body. And Ben Roethlisberger hasn't had a body to throw like that in a very long time. And he's going to take advantage of Chase Claypool.
Yeah,
and
Is Chase Claypool this season's DJ Metcalf?
Yeah. He'll be better than DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. And even so, I think he's the best comparison would be like a Martavis Bryant. And if anyone remembers what Tave did for those couple of years he was with the Steelers, he was pretty much a monster.
He was a phenomenal player.
And I think he's like the same type of receiver, like a 6'4", just fast man.
Speed, strength,
and that's all
hands, whatever you need.
I'm not saying Juju's gonna have a bad year. I think Juju's gonna have a great year, but I think he's gonna be he's gonna hopefully at least they go move him back to the slot, and
he's more effective there.
Yeah, it's where he belongs at least when he was with AB, and they let Chase put on the outside with James.
But also AB was more effective there.
Yeah, no, fair.
That's the Steelers system. Yeah. The best receiver should be in the slot if they're under 6'4".
No, that's fair, and that's why we should put Juju there. He is probably still our best receiver talent-wise.
I think he absolutely is.
But at the same time, I think Chase Claypool, as again, like we were talking about, things you can't teach. Al Davis would say he's a goddamn body.
He's a body, and he's a burner.
Yeah, he's a burner, and you cannot teach speed.
You can't teach speed. You can't teach size. You can't teach strength.
Yeah.
And Chase Claypool has all of those things in spades.
Most likely to disappoint. I'm going to jump the lead on this one. I have the Ravens because literally everything went right for them last year. And one, I just don't think they're going to have the same luck. Two, I think year 2 of the Lamar Jackson show will have more difficulties. I think teams are going to start keying in a little bit more. And I seriously question their wide receiver core / receiving core. I don't know if you guys knew this, but last year the Ravens led the league by far in rushing yards. Number 1, like by a ton.
I did know this.
Yeah.
As a Steelers fan.
I know
Number
what you're gonna say next.
Passing yards, 27th.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say the drops. Like in the last game they played against the Titans or whatever.
Lost the Titans. Yeah.
Oh my God, was that a receiving core atrocious to watch? Holy moly!
Hold that point because I have a question related to that Titans thing. So we're gonna get to that later. Hold whatever you're gonna say.
Yeah.
To a little bit later. So most likely to disappoint. Do you guys all think it's the Ravens?
No, I don't think it's the Ravens. I think the Ravens can. Their over/under was 11.5. I think they can get 11 or 12 wins. I think that's reasonable for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think most likely to disappoint is Cleveland.
For sure.
Fair.
Cleveland is still Cleveland. They are still the Cleveland fucking Browns. They are gonna embarrass their city like they do every year.
So to just jump over you there, when I was doing the research, I made a section for perceived weaknesses and strengths of each team. Perceived weakness, Cleveland, cursed.
That is a very solid weakness.
Yeah, that's
a very real weakness in Cleveland.
That's the only weakness of Cleveland.
What was their over/under?
8.5.
Yeah,
this is gambling related, obviously.
Yeah.
Cleveland's always like they're a hot button team, especially with all the big names they have right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not necessarily indicative of their skill level, more so of maybe the optimism coming from certain areas of Ohio.
Yeah,
Sure. And also
bettors.
people betting. Yeah.
Bettors looking at
But
OBJ.
also,
and
I
shit.
think now with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, I don't think Cleveland gets a free 2 wins against Cincinnati anymore. I think they're going to lose one of those games.
I think they're gonna lose both.
Well, look, I mean,
They could lose both.
I don't know.
They're going to lose both to Baltimore. They're going to lose both to Pittsburgh. I think.
they were 6-10 last year, and that was with the Steelers being terrible.
Yeah.
We still beat them.
No, we lost one game.
You know, I know we beat them once, though.
We beat them once.
Yeah, we don't ever lose to them twice in a year, like
No,
ever.
Ever.
It's insane.
Ben Roethlisberger has Ben Roethlisberger has more wins in Cleveland than any other Cleveland quarterback.
It's insane. That's a crazy stat.
Okay, so speaking of Cleveland, we're gonna move on. So Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary Award. I'll jump the lead a little bit there too, and I'll tell you what I had to give you an idea of what I was thinking here. Browns playmakers. This is something that could potentially save them. Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Austin Hooper, Myles Garrett on defense. They got some really, really good players.
Good receivers. Solid running back core.
Yeah. Do you guys think that, they were worse than the league last year in discipline. They had the most penalties
One
by
of their
far.
players almost murdered a guy on the field.
Actually, I wanted to get into that. If Ben Roethlisberger was healthy, does Myles Garrett have the same reaction?
Absolutely not. If you try to kill Ben Roethlisberger, you're done from the league.
I just assumed that Myles Garrett would end up dead if he did that.
Yeah, no. Someone in Pittsburgh would kill Myles Garrett for that. At the time, Mason
Not-
Rudolph was
no one-
not much loved.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no one cares about Mason Rudolph.
So you don't think Ben Roethlisberger just would have killed him?
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger could kill Myles Garrett in a heartbeat. That guy is a psycho. Ben, I mean, not Myles Garrett. Also Myles Garrett.
Garrett's definitely not all there either.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but if you're looking at an optimistic side, then yeah, the Browns playmakers on offense and defense, they're big names for a reason. They're tremendously skilled.
There's
I
a lot of
don't
talent.
know if they have. I don't know if the pieces fit. I don't know if they're the sum of their parts. You know.
Okay, well, I agree with you there. I think they have some talent. I think that the problem is the talent doesn't necessarily gel well together every time. And I don't think they gelled last year. I don't think they will gel this year. But to go to your question, who was the saving grace? Who was the guaranteed Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary pass? I think it's the Steelers' defense. I think that even though we have Ben back and we have a solid receiving core and we have our running backs healthy, I think that the Steelers' defense is going to be the part of the team that carries us to the playoffs, carries us to a division title. We have the same guys. We didn't lose anyone this offseason, more or less. We have TJ Watt. We have Minka Fitzpatrick. We have Joe Hayden. We have Steven Nelson. We have a bunch of super talented guys on the defense. And they are going to shut it down. I'm predicting that top 3 defense this year, both in pass defense and rush defense. Cam Hayward, can't say enough about the guy. Most underrated defensive lineman in the league, if you ask me.
And yet you say one sentence about him.
Said enough about
Can't say enough.
it. Enough though.
No, but that's well said. That's also obviously like a really good option. Connor, do you have any potential options for?
The Hail Mary thing. This is gonna sound really random and
Go for it.
honestly like what we call a hot take, but Joe Mixon. I think the Cincinnati Bengals offense is gonna be a little more surprising in general. So I think Joe Mixon last year was way just not underutilized, but just not used properly.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
An understatement.
Just misused, I guess.
There's a bunch of talented guys on offense.
Yeah,
that just
Joe Mixon.
not
I just
gotten
think
their touches.
that offense in general is going to be a lot more surprising. It's always the case with really like hot rookie quarterbacks coming in. I don't mean looks wise because aside from that, Joe Burrow is
Joe Burrow
super
is
hot.
so hot.
Very hot guy. But aside from that, though, like, very, very good, like, quarterback in general. And when you don't have any tape on the guy and you're worried more about him in general, I think Joe Mixon's gonna be like maybe a sleeper pick in
He's gonna
general.
get a
if you
lot
wanna
of
play some
touches.
fantasy.
He'll be a sleeper pick. He's gonna go to the fucking 3rd round.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
leagues.
Joe Mixon. I think is gonna be a good player.
Okay, that's a good option. So
That's a good pick. Yeah, I
Todd
respect
Gurley,
that.
Todd Gurley Arthritic Knee Award, potential Achilles heel of any team. I kind of jumped the lead a little bit there, but I have Ravens passing. I think that's something that could potentially really hold them back. If you can figure out how to defend the Ravens, a la Titans type of thing, then, I mean, if you stop their run attack, then what are they going to do? They have Willie Snead as their top wide receiver.
Yeah, and like me and Ryan were kind of talking about this yesterday, like off show, but
Most of your conversations are off show.
no,
I mean, at least a third of them.
yeah, I want to say that. I don't know. I record a lot of our conversations, but no, we were talking about it yesterday. In general, like the Titans, not only did they just like lock down the run game, all you gotta do is get that like win the coin toss, get off to a head start, and get up to a decent lead against them, and then once they take away the run game and you're forced to throw the ball in the third, fourth quarter, it's done. They can't keep up. And the Titans game was a bit of a weird one because Lamar Jackson was actually making some of those throws. It was like probably some of the worst drops I've ever seen in football. But aside from that, like he's not a consistent thrower enough. He's not going to do it.
He doesn't have
not in the third, fourth quarter.
The consistency with the pressure on the line.
He can throw in the first quarter when everyone's backed up, super scared of him running.
Yeah.
But in the fourth quarter, when no one's scared of him running.
Yeah, if you run, you're going to burn 30 seconds off the clock.
I think they should have a backup Joe Flacco again. And just when they need to bring in a thrower, they just put in Joe Flacco.
They should sign Ryan Fitzpatrick is what they should do.
Okay, we're moving on.
I didn't get to answer the question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go for it.
I don't know if I have an answer, but I think that Lamar Jackson could be a... Hold on.
The
I do
fuck?
have an answer. I think that Steelers injuries are going to happen. I think that's going to be the Achilles heel. To play devil's advocate on myself, as big of a Steelers fan that I am, I think if Ben goes down, big time problems. I think if Minka goes down or TJ goes down, huge problems in the Pittsburgh organization. They could spell disaster for the team. And this team is a very injury-prone team. Ben has had numerous injuries. James Conner's had numerous injuries. Juju's been kind of healthy. He's kind of not played in a situation where he could have. If he goes down, we're going to have problems. I think that if we don't stay healthy, our division title hopes go out the window very quickly.
Yeah. But
For sure.
Said with any team. You don't stay healthy, you're going to be done.
But I think
Patriots could get
I
away
think
with
Ryan
it.
has a point there, though, like that the Steelers are, although on paper very good, they are also top heavy and thin if their depth is put into play, especially at QB. I mean,
No one has a worse backup quarterback than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
but no one has a better third string.
That's fair.
true.
Ah, go Devy.
I hear duck wings in the background.
Moving on. Start, bench, cut. OBJ, Jarvis Landry, AJ Green, or Juju Smith-Schuster. Ryan, you go first.
Hold on. There's 4 guys there.
I know you're gonna cut. You're gonna have to cut 2.
I have to cut 2.
Yeah. There's just a lot of good receivers in this division, and I wanted to put them all in.
So it's OBJ, Jarvis, AJ Green, Juju.
And Juju, yeah.
Damn. Okay. Out of pure hatred, I'm cutting OBJ immediately. Not
That's
because
fair.
I don't think he's the talented receiver. I think just because I hate the guy and I don't want him on my team.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that guy on your team.
I don't want him on my team. He's a locker room cancer. Goodbye. I'm gonna start based on youth. I'm gonna start Juju, and also based on bias, I guess.
Yeah,
Start Juju.
that was not a shocker.
Yeah. And I'm gonna bench Jarvis, and I'm gonna cut AJ Green. I think Jarvis has a lot of talent. I think he's an Odell Beckham, but not an asshole. Well, he's kind of an asshole, but less of an asshole. A tolerable dick, if you will. I think he's not quite the young talent.
That's what every girlfriend said about me.
How's Ryan? Well, he's a tolerable dick.
Yes, he's got a tolerable dick.
I mean, it's not gonna rock your world.
It's tolerable.
Okay, Connor, your turn. Start, bench, cut.
Same exact order. I don't really have much to say about that. Like, I'm a Steelers fan as well, so I think there's bias there. And I've seen a lot more Juju than I've seen anybody else play. Jarvis, I think, is... I don't want to say as talented as Odell. I think Odell's more talented, but again, like, his personality is not worth it. AJ Green is cut.
He's long in the tooth.
Too old.
Yeah.
I like AJ Green. I used to love him as a player, but now he's just...
You had him on your fantasy team for like 5 years.
Love the guy. Really great talent. And their prime, out of all of them, AJ for sure.
Oh, in his prime, AJ Green was a top 5 receiver.
Yeah, AJ's awesome.
Well,
But
Juju hasn't really hit his prime yet. I mean, necessarily. Like,
you don't know about that.
Hold on. I don't think he's hit his prime.
Well, you never know because Odell hit his prime this first year too.
Although it was prime in LSU.
Exactly. You never know when primes are. Primes might seem when they're 28, but
Okay,
primes
moving
might hit
on.
you.
Division's biggest bitch.
Oh, take your pick. Odell Beckham for sure. Biggest bitch.
Big
I
Trez.
think.
Big Trez. No, I'm kidding. I actually like Lamar Jackson a lot.
I respect Lamar Jackson. I hate him, but I respect him.
respect pretty much everybody on the Ravens. The Ravens have grown the respect for me a lot.
I've always respected the Ravens. I've never respected the Browns.
We're moving on. Miscellaneous cues. Over under 2.5 weeks until Big Ben is playing with 2 badly sprained ankles.
Under. He's going to start the season with 2 sprained ankles.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be fine, honestly.
Do you think it's gonna be over?
No, I think it's going to be fine.
Oh yeah, well no, he's gonna be fine. I'm just saying
No, he's
every
gonna
single
play.
time,
So
every single
over
time
for
I
sure.
watch Big Ben, like at one point inevitably they're like, oh yeah, he's got 2 taped up ankles.
Yeah, but
he's not moving really.
The thing
well."
is, have you seen Ben recently? He used to be a big fat fatty. And that's why he was spraining his ankles all the time. Because when you're moving 270 pounds on those little ankles, one of them's going to sprain. But
I don't know if he's...
from what I've seen of him lately, he's not big Ben. He's medium Ben. He's dropped at least 20 pounds this offseason. He's looking trim. He's looking lean. He's looking like 2006 Ben. Super Bowl, first Super Bowl Ben. Not, in the face, but in the lower half, he's looking a little leaner.
Okay.
His arms are looking less fat. He doesn't have as much of a gut as he had in the past 10 years.
Well, that's good. Okay,
So
fair enough.
I think injuries are going to be mitigated for him, personally.
Fair enough. Next question: are the Baltimore Ravens the NFL's Milwaukee Bucks, or was Tennessee just a worst case matchup for a team that wasn't quite ready?
So by Milwaukee Bucks, you mean not always a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of thing?
What I
Tons
mean
of
is
talent.
that they have a tremendous system. They have a singular talent that's very good, but ultimately flawed, and with the right matchup can be defended to a T.
Absolutely, they are then.
Yeah.
If that's what you're saying.
That's exactly what they are.
You basically just said, are the Ravens going to win the Super Bowl? The answer is no, then yes, they're the Bucks.
Well, those are the expectations. I mean, frankly,
Yes.
look, the Ravens are one of the teams that their expectations are Super Bowl or essentially bust.
Super Bowl bust, yeah.
So
And
you're
I
saying
think
bust.
they're going to bust. I think they're going to
Yeah,
bust
well,
again. Because they are the Bucks of the NFL. They have one really good player.
No, they're just too one-dimensional. It's not even about one
Well,
good...
that's
they,
the
they have,
Bucks.
they have multiple good players, but it's the same dimension. Like, Mark Ingram's a good player, Lamar Jackson's a good player, but it's all the same dimension. It's all running game.
They have a solid defense.
No, but I mean on offense.
But do you think that Tennessee was a worst case matchup for them, or do you think it's
I
something
think Tennessee
that can be,
was the worst case matchup for a lot of teams.
That's true, but do you think it's
They
something
were
that's
a worst case for the Patriots. They were a worst case for the Ravens.
Tennessee's the worst case for pretty much every team in the NFL.
Every team with an offense.
Do you
No.
think that's something that is replicable by another team that doesn't have a Derrick Henry and a heavy?
You need Derrick
like
Henry.
that.
You need
Derrick
a
Henry.
guy like Derrick Henry, not necessarily as the same build as Derrick Henry, but some guy that can run the ball like he does. And how many guys in the league can do that?
Like 4.
Maybe. I'll give you Saquon.
Saquon.
Who else?
Zeke.
Yeah, I guess Zeke, but they don't need him to do that. But sure, Zeke.
Zeke, for sure.
And who else? McCaffrey's a different style of running back.
No, yeah.
Kamara's a different style of running back.
No, they were, no, I wouldn't say that, yeah.
You still need a passing game with those guys.
Well, they're part of the passing game.
They're the feature of the passing game.
Well, no, but Michael Thomas.
I think,
you know what I mean?
yeah, sure, okay, whatever. You know what I mean. They're very much featured in the passing game, whereas Derrick Henry is the offense for the Tennessee Titans. Even though I'm very high on Ryan Tannehill, and we'll get to this in the South section, I think Derrick Henry is a phenomenal running back. He is a generational talent, and there's very few teams that can rely on a system that the Tennessee Titans rely on, where just feed the rock to a guy, let him get 4 yards of carry, and march the ball down the field very slowly, keep the other offense off the field. It burned Tom Brady, and it burned Lamar Jackson.
Right.
And it could burn Ben Roethlisberger in the playoffs, too, if I'm being honest.
True. Next question. Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Ben Roethlisberger for the next 3 years? Connor, you go first.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years total.
What?
It's a play on the fact that Ben Roethlisberger, although better than Baker Mayfield right now, is older. So
Oh, yeah,
it's
no,
kind of
no,
like,
yeah,
what do you
I
think
can
of?
see-
Yeah.
Just to let this be known, Ben Roethlisberger's 38 years old.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Ben's at most, if he wins every single year, he's got 3 years left in him, at best. But Baker at best has 3 years left in him if he plays well. So we'll see.
Well, if he plays well, he's had a lot more than that.
No, that's what I mean.
If he doesn't play well, he's
Baker could be done this year.
Yeah.
Whereas as well could be done this year. Shit, that's a tough one because they both could be done this year. I don't know. Like,
it's a toss-up.
It's a very close toss-up. For 3 years.
Not for me, but for you.
If I'm building a team, honestly, I probably would go with Baker. Honestly.
I would wholeheartedly disagree. I would take Ben Roethlisberger for 2 years and Mason Rudolph for 1 over Baker for 3.
No, I think
I think Ben Roethlisberger is still a phenomenal quarterback. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league if he's playing. He's on the field.
I think Baker just needs a good coach, man. I think Baker just needs some kind of coaching. He's not someone who can just riff.
Sure. Okay. Well, Ben Roethlisberger doesn't need a coach.
Doesn't. I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying.
No, he doesn't need
as
that.
a quarterback, he's a more complete player. He's ready to win now on any team.
He's more of a veteran.
You could throw Ben on any team right now, and he will compete.
No,
Connor, do you want to know where Baker Mayfield ranks in QB rating last year?
Probably like 32nd.
He asked me this question earlier today, and I said 31st.
Wow.
Ryan was right.
What shit.
Baker Mayfield was 31st last year in QB rating.
Yeah, I know
right
that.
ahead
I know
of
he's
Andy
shit.
Dalton.
He's awful.
And right behind guys like Kyle Allen, Mason Rudolph, who was better, Mitchell Trubisky, Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston. I would agree with Ryan in that I would probably take Ben Roethlisberger for the next 3 years because at least I know, like, look, Ben is probably going to decline, but I think you can get into a situation where it's kind of like Peyton Manning on the Denver Broncos where just be passable. Just be passable and, like, average, manage the game, use your brain. You might not have, like, the legs or the arm.
Okay, you guys forget that in Ben's last season, he led the league in passing yards.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's not a game manager. The guy's a gunslinger.
Then he's better than that. But I'm saying, like,
he's a great quarterback.
Well, if he regresses in the next 3 years, what I'm saying
he
is
will
like,
regress.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying, like, can you ask him if he regresses significantly to be like, yo, dude, just use your knowledge, manage the game versus a guy like Baker Mayfield, who literally last year was the second worst, like, consistent quarterback in the league.
Right.
No,
so what you're asking me is, do you want a quarterback that can push for a title for 2 years and will be done by the third, or do you want a quarterback that will not push for a title at all for 3 years but will still be
maybe
alive?
He explodes. Do you still believe in his potential?
I don't believe in his potential.
See,
I think he's the potential for a 9-7 quarterback for his career.
I think that this is the whole issue. You guys don't believe in Baker, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying believe in Baker. But they fucked up really bad last year with Baker. They gave him the keys to an offense.
Cleveland Browns. They do this on every quarterback they ever draft.
They're very much known for doing this. But at the same time, they gave this young guy.
Brady Quinn was a good quarterback when they drafted him.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about Brady Quinn right now. I don't even want to talk about any of the Cleveland quarterbacks. They're all bad. I'm not saying Baker's even that good. In general, though, they just gave this guy the keys to an offense that he wasn't ready to be anything else other than a game manager for. They were telling him to throw the ball like 40 times a game. He can't do that. He's still young. He's still essentially a rookie
quarterback.
And they weren't treating him like they were treating him like they're gonna be a goddamn Patty Mahomes. They saw Patty Mahomes. They're like, Baker's accurate. We can do the same thing.
You
with
would
this
do
guy.
that now.
Yeah, and it's not the same. Baker has to be treated like an actual someone who needs to develop. And I think he can develop. I just think.
But that's the thing with the Browns. They don't let these young guys develop. They throw them into a situation where they're going to get beat up, where they're going to throw a lot of picks, where they're going to throw a lot of incompletions, and they don't let them develop as quarterbacks. It happened to Brady Quinn. I'm also a Notre Dame fan, and I love Brady Quinn in college. And when he got drafted by the Browns, it was the worst case scenario for the guy.
That's a really good point because had they let Johnny Manziel develop, he would have been great. I'm being super facetious.
Yeah,
I don't believe
I don't know that he would have been terrible though, if he had gone into the right situation. Okay, say the Patriots drafted Johnny Manziel and Tom Brady, retired.
God, can you imagine Johnny Manziel with 3 rings on his finger?
Yeah, shit, he'd have 10 by now.
And 2 of them are wedding rings.
Okay, last question. Is this OBJ's last year with the Browns? He signed for $14.5 million for the next 3 years after this one. Is he trade bait, or does he stay with them?
I think the Browns are going to go like 5-11. And they're going to try and shop him, but I don't know if anyone's going to take him.
I think the people are going to take him. It's not going to be like it's not going to be like a Leonard Fournette situation. I think it's going to be more so.
They're not going to cut him.
That's what I mean. I think they're going to.
They cut Fournette.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I mean. They're going to try and shop him, and they're going to get something for him. They cut Fournette because they tried to shop him, and no one took him.
So you think that's going to happen?
Yes. They're going
to cut him eventually.
They're going to shop him. They're going to get something for him. They're not going to be a Fournette.
But what are they going to get? Like, I mean,
it's not
like a third round pick,
like a third
or
round
something?
pick, third to fifth, third to sixth.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Who's going to take that trade, if you don't mind me asking?
People are.
I
people
think
are very
the
dumb.
Giants will take him back.
Oh, they would love him back.
They would love him back.
that.
What about the Jets?
That would be hilarious.
They would like it too, to be honest. But I don't know if he would like it.
Okay, I actually, last thing on the AFC North, I forgot to ask this. I wanted to ask you guys, rank the teams how you see them finishing, because I think there might be some contentiousness, actually. Ryan, you go first. How do you see these teams finishing?
I see Pittsburgh winning the division. I see Baltimore hot on their tails, maybe even tied, but tiebreaker to Pittsburgh because bias. And then I'm gonna go. Fuck it. Let's go Cincy, then Cleveland. I think Cleveland's gonna come last.
Same here, in the exact same order.
I think the Browns go 6-10. I think the Bengals go 7-9. I think the Steelers go 12-4.
I am not nearly as high on the Bengals.
Yeah.
I think they've got talent. I think they've got a good receiving core. They have a good running back.
I think that's what everyone forgets too. AJ Green's back this year too, man.
AJ Green he's still AJ Green.
Who can catch the ball. They have a guy who can throw the ball.
They have. I mean, who knows what Joe Burrow's going to be?
It's rookie quarterbacks.
This
man.
guy was
Rookie
arguably the
quarterbacks
best college quarterback.
Been doing crazy
ever.
shit nowadays, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. 22-year-olds winning MVPs and shit.
He's a solid candidate for rookie of the year. Solid candidate.
He's a
Probably
really
the favorite.
Yeah, probably
definitely
most
favorite.
likely the favorite.
Anyway,
It's first pick.
we're moving on to the AFC South. So the AFC South, it's a division, according to OddsShark, a lot of parity. So looking at the over-under, Colts are leading this division with 9 wins.
Wow.
Then you have the Titans at 8.5. The Texans at 7.5. And then finally we have the lowly Jaguars at 4.5. And that was actually prior to them losing Leonard Fournette. Out of those teams, most likely to surpass expectations. Let's go with you, Ryan, first.
Most likely, I think, is the Titans. I think Ryan Tannehill is still a very efficient quarterback. I think Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. I think Mike Vrabel's a fantastic coach. What was their over-under, 8.5?
Yes, 8.5.
They'll win 10 games, I think, easily.
When you say Ryan Tannehill is still an efficient quarterback, you mean still as in just from last year, right?
Yeah.
Nothing before that.
Let's
That's not
talk
true,
about Ryan
actually, at all.
Tannehill last year.
That's not even true at
the
all.
guy
Ryan
was a
Tannehill has always been
superstar.
very efficient.
He's always been efficient, but last year he took it to a new level.
Yeah,
with
last
this
year,
system.
if you actually look at Ryan Tannehill's numbers from the day he was drafted, he's actually very, very efficient as a quarterback. He's just not used that
He's just
much.
not a dumb guy.
Yeah.
So then, in that case, what went wrong for him in Miami?
He just wasn't used that much. They had no run game, and he's not a quarterback that can win you game off his arm. He's a game manager. He's efficient.
He did win games off his arm in Tennessee last
No, I
year.
agree with that. Now he is.
But the
maybe.
problem in Miami was Miami sucks.
Yeah,
Their
but-
coaching was terrible.
Yeah.
He had no weapons. He had nothing to do on the team.
But he still was good, man. He was a good
fine.
quarterback.
But then he goes into the right system. Like, there's a ton of quarterbacks that don't function well, and then they go into the right system. Look at Drew Brees, for example. He was in San Diego. He was not effective. He goes to New Orleans, and automatically this guy's a superstar. He's a Hall of Famer. Because he found the system that worked for him. I think this is the system that works for Ryan Tannehill. Not saying he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not going to be Drew Brees. But
He just can't be the focal point of the offense.
But he can be. He shouldn't be. But if you ask him to be, he will be.
No, they asked him to be. That's exactly what the Chiefs asked him to be. And
The Chiefs.
Who
Ryan
they,
Tannehill?
yeah, who they no, when they played in the AFC Championship. It was the Chiefs,
yeah, it
right?
was the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
Chiefs
lost.
shut down Derrick Henry, and they asked him, "Hey, Ryan Tannehill, can you throw the ball today?" And Ryan Tannehill was like, "No, I cannot today."
He tried his best.
He did his best.
So, in that case, from Ryan Tannehill, is he worth 4 years, $118 million?
Worth every penny.
He's 30 years old.
Still.
How old
That's
is he?
young for
is
a
it
quarterback.
31? 30. Oh,
So it
there you go.
goes from 32 to 35. He ends it on his age 35 season. There is a potential out in the contract after the 2022 season. They can cut him.
They will.
You think they will?
They're gonna. Yeah.
What if he wins 2 bowls?
I don't know, man. Then they're probably gonna cut him.
I don't know. I think Ryan Tannehill is a very underrated quarterback. He led the league in QBR and
He led the league in a lot last year,
Yeah.
actually.
touchdown percentage, like a bunch of efficiency stats. Like the guy was
Right.
a monster last year in terms of like getting the ball down the field and scoring touchdowns and not throwing picks.
Are you worried, though, that I mean, if you're a Titans fan, are you worried that they literally just paid him for the best few starts of his life? And
Few starts. He's been starting since week 9.
Like 12.
Yeah, so he
best season of his life.
Plus the playoffs.
Are you paying him for an aberration, so to speak?
Okay, well look, this league is very starved for quarterbacks. Very starved for quarterbacks that can be effective.
And that happens all the time. There's so many times that
Like, what did Nick Foles get paid?
Yeah, Nick Foles. That happened. Nick Foles. Jimmy Garoppolo played a few games and boom, signed them.
Biggest quarterback contract
Crazy
ever.
money. Brock Osweiler, crazy money.
And I think out of all those contracts that you just mentioned, I think Tannehill is the safest of the 3.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's proven that he can be efficient. These other guys, they had good seasons, they had big games, whatever. But Tannehill is not about big games. He's about getting the ball to the end zone, whether it's with Derrick Henry or with the short slants or with an occasional wheel route, whatever it is. The guy doesn't throw picks very often. He keeps the ball in the hands of the offensive players.
He's also just a gamer.
He's a gamer. He likes to win games.
He wins. He'll get injured if he needs to win the game, which is a big thing that a lot of quarterbacks struggle with. Like Cam Newton and all that type of shit. We're talking about being gamers and stuff. He's one of those people.
So, Connor, then in that case, do you agree with Ryan that the Titans are most likely to surpass the expectations?
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the pick I would have gone with.
I have a different one. I think the Texans. They have the best QB in the division, in my opinion. Deshaun Watson.
He's no Tannehill, but okay.
He's the best in the division, for sure. Go on.
He's for sure the best in the division.
I mean, he's not Ryan Tannehill, but he's okay.
He's not Phillip Rivers, but let me tell you.
He's not Phillip Rivers.
I just realized that the mere mention of Ryan Tannehill on Ryan's side, the
table lifted a couple inches.
Yeah, just a couple.
Just a couple.
But no, I mean, look, the Texans over under 7.5 wins, and there's a reason for that. Obviously, I mean, they gave away arguably the game's best wide receiver for pennies on the dollar.
Basically scraps.
I got a running back.
That's true. Actually, I have a question.
Did they?
David Johnson's good.
Say that.
Is he?
Say that. I have a question I have a David Johnson related thing for him.
We'll go back and forth on that one.
But, regardless of David Johnson, look, I mean, Texans appear to be a weaker team, but the point is, Deshaun Watson is one of the best QBs in the league, and if he takes another step, he could very well just lead the Texans to second division, maybe even division win. Yeah. This is not that strong a division.
It's a very weak division.
Probably
it is.
The weakest in the AFC.
Arguably the weakest in the league.
Yeah, definitely the weakest in the AFC.
Yeah. If it's the weakest in the AFC, it's the weakest in
the East is pretty shit, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I'd say the East is the weaker division.
It's pretty shit now that Brady's out of it.
Yeah.
That does make me feel a little better.
I mean, if you're comparing apples to apples here, the best team in the AFC South is just as good, if not better than the AFC East.
The South is better than the East, now that I think about it.
Okay.
For sure.
Next question. Most likely to disappoint. I had the Titans because I'm worried about their regression to the mean. Potentially, you could say they had career years from their quarterback and running back.
Yeah.
And what happens if they regress a little? Derrick Henry still being good, but not amazing. Ryan Tannehill going back to where he was in Miami, which was a serviceable guy, but
not going to happen. He's the best ever.
Crazy talk.
I'm surprised you're that high on a guy who's not with the Steelers, but
I'm drafting this guy in my fantasy league 100%.
Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback.
This guy's so money in the bank.
I don't think he's. I think he's a little past serviceable at this point.
Point is,
he's very, very much past serviceable.
Point is, this is a team, the Titans, that made the AFC Championship game last year, and now they have designs to look like, can we take the next step?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you may have already peaked. And now
you're saying they're not going to make the Super Bowl, therefore they're disappointing?
Well, I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl. What I'm saying is they may not even make the playoffs.
That's disappointing.
That would. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're talking about likelihood, and if you look at regression to the mean potential, then I think the Titans could be exceptionally disappointing.
They could. If they don't make the playoffs, it's a massive disappointment for them. Going from AFC Championship to missing the playoffs, huge loss.
But they were only 9-7 last year.
I don't think they're going to regress to the mean like that. And they were only 9-7, but again, they were the hottest team, the hottest 9-7 team I've seen in a long time.
When Ryan Tannehill came in, they were like 3-6 or something.
There's a culture shift, and Vrabel's a good coach, and there was a lot of instances last year he showed that he's not just like a defensive just guy. He actually is a genuine good head coach.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm speaking out my ass here, but I'm pretty sure Ryan Tannehill only lost one game that he started in the regular season.
I have no idea.
I think he was on fire. Maybe 2. They won 7 games in a row with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I don't know. Why are we so high on Ryan? Let's stop talking about Ryan Tannehill.
He's okay. Sorry.
I think I'm going to start saying.
Stud.
I'm my turn now. I'm going to start saying what I think the biggest bust of the division is going to be, and I think it's going to be the Colts.
I was gonna say the same
The
thing.
Colts suck dick. No, okay, no, but actual reason.
They might. Also, just to interrupt, Ryan Tannehill was 7-3.
7-3. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty good. Anyway,
It's pretty good.
aside from that, I think the Colts I don't think adding Phillip Rivers is going to be it. Honestly, Jacoby Brissett is arguably a better
Yeah,
quarterback.
how much better is Phillip Rivers over Jacoby Brissett?
Not.
What's the addition there?
Negative. I don't think Phillip Rivers is the answer in any capacity.
I mean, they have talent. They do have T.Y. Hilton. They think Jonathan...
one of the best offensive line in football now, which I feel so bad for Andrew Luck, because he had to break his spleen.
He had to break his whole body for that team.
Yeah, retire from the NFL. And then the year after, here, let's draft Quentin Nelson.
The thing about Andrew Luck is he seemed to like being hit so hard so well. He'd get hit and he's like, "Oh, great hit!"
Yeah,
that was just a really good.
The guy just
play.
loves football, though.
He does.
He loves it so much.
He just understood the games about hitting, and he's like, "Fuck it,
Yeah.
it's part of my life."
Until he retired.
But I think also the Colts have Jonathan Taylor, the rookie running back. I think the guy's going to be a superstar.
Are you guys big on DeForest Buckner?
Is anyone big on DeForest Buckner?
He's okay. It's like asking me if am I happy with my B- grade on my math test.
I think it could have been worse.
Well, the Colts are really high on DeForest Buckner.
Why, they paid him a lot?
They trade a lot and paid a lot.
Yeah, shit. DeForest Buckner's a good player.
He's a good player.
I'll take it back. Maybe not B-, B+. That's a good B+.
He's a B+ player, sure. But, I mean, again, the Colts have a ton of talent. They have Anthony Costanzo. They have Quentin Nelson. Good offensive line. And they have Jonathan Taylor, who I think is going to be a very good running back. The guy's looking already, just in camp, he was looking like a real deal pro. And Phillip Rivers may or may not be any good. Whatever. I mean, has he really ever been that good, if you ask me?
Phillip Rivers is going to be a Hall of Famer, which fucking saddens me deeply.
I think he will be, but my question is why?
No, that's what I mean. It saddens me deeply. It's because he's gonna
because he has tons of numbers.
You're gonna look at the numbers and it's as a career, sure.
They're gonna say
great.
he's like a Dan Marino.
No,
ton of numbers, no rings.
So much ass when you actually watch him play. He is good sometimes, and sometimes
there was a game last year that I watched where he just threw the game away on purpose. I think.
No, there are sometimes he does. But there's also a game I watched maybe last year, or the year before, where he genuinely threw over 25 passes and he maybe missed 1 or 2, and he can have those games. Phillip Rivers is still one of the most accurate, if not the most accurate passer when he can just stand still.
And he had a ton of talent catching the ball.
Yeah, his team's good, but the Chargers were good. But at the same time, in general, he's got talent. He just can't fucking move at all.
He gives up on games, I feel like.
He's a shitty guy.
He's a
I don't
shitty
want him
guy.
on my team.
He wants to go home to his family.
And his
by the
10 kids.
Midway
17
through the
kids.
third quarter, he's like, I'm done with this.
He wants to put another baby into his mother.
To his mother. Let's not have him do that.
The mother of his kids.
That's definitely what I meant.
Okay, we're going to skip the Aaron Rodgers and Todd Gurley award because, frankly, I don't really think they're that interesting, this division. Okay, going straight to ranking teams. Connor, you go first. How do you see this division falling out?
After all the talk about Houston, I kind of side with you now, Chris. I think Houston's actually going to win the division.
I don't even think that.
Oh, really? Okay, never mind then. Then I think Houston's going to win the division. I think it's going to be number 1 Houston, number 2 Tennessee, number 3, I guess Indy. Fuck, Jacksonville sucks. So, yeah, 3 Indy. But no, I think number 1 being Houston is based off I think David Johnson's going to be a little underrated. I think David Johnson was good in Arizona. He's not amazing, but at the same time, he's better than Lamar Miller.
But the guy lost his job last year. Or 2 years ago. It was last year.
Well, he's also been injured to fuck.
State that. I have a question for that. I keep
Okay.
telling you that.
Okay.
Okay, Ryan, you go next.
I am going to disagree. I think Titans are going to win the division. I think Texans will come second. I think the Colts will be third. And I think the Jaguars are going to push for the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. I think they're going to tank almost immediately.
They've shown they are. They've shown their hand.
I think the Lawrence sweepstakes are going to be Panthers, Jaguars, maybe a couple other teams. But I think the Jaguars are going to push very hard. Their owner is very high on Trevor Lawrence.
Do you think their owner could put Jacksonville on a map if you showed him just a blank Florida slate?
I don't think he knows the team.
I think
he only knows
probably,
London.
He could probably point out Florida. Maybe not Jacksonville. It's in Mississippi. No, sir, that's Jackson.
So, just to be contrarian, I guess, I'm going to go with the Colts.
You're taking the Colts to win that division.
Win the division.
I am.
Over the Texans, over the Titans.
Yes.
Wow.
Because
Wow. That's a hot take. I thought I'd have hot takes today.
Wow.
I just think Philip Rivers is going to have a good time. I think he's got some good weapons. I think he's going to enjoy being in a new environment. A lot of people are doubting him. I think Philip Rivers is the exact type of guy who put a chip on his shoulder. He's going to put up big yards and also make a new baby.
He'll over under on kids that Philip Rivers is going to have this year.
7.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's not impossible.
but I think I got the
they have a ton of
Texans. I got the
talent.
Texans going second, Titans going third.
What do you think the Titans are going to finish? What's their record?
7-9.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking
I
disrespectful.
am.
pretty disrespectful for the AFC Championship team.
I'm going
Well,
with
you know what,
big
like-
regression to the meme. I don't. The
You
meme.
keep-
I
Regression
don't-
to the mean.
What
do you
mean? What mean are they regressing to? This
Ryan
is their first
Tannehill.
fucking year together.
You're talking Ryan Tannehill going back to Miami numbers? Like, that's not who he
Yeah,
is in Tennessee.
Why would he do that? He's got a new coach, new system.
Like,
new
it's
everything.
saying Drew Brees is going to regress to his San Diego days. Why?
Well, why?
Well, there's a greater sample size to suggest that Drew Brees is
Sample
not.
size, I agree.
So-
But
okay, fine,
there is a very
whatever.
little sample size with Ryan Tannehill. He kind of seems like he just came out of nowhere. I think
This
there's
guy's been around.
No, fair. No, I get what you're saying. There will be some. I think there will be some natural regression. They're not going to be in the AFC Championship again, but I still think in general they're not going to regress to the mean of Ryan Tannehill being like a serviceable quarterback,
Like
True.
borderline
Look,
backup.
getting cut, literally cut.
Yeah.
He won't be cut again in that sense.
look. I
He's
don't know.
done.
I mean, this team went 9-7 with like some guys putting up huge numbers.
they went 7.
Yeah, they went 9-7, but Ryan Tannehill went 7.
They went 7 and
Look,
3.
I'm
with
trying to be a
Tannehill.
little contrarian, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
You can't blame the Titans for the games they lost without Ryan Tannehill.
I can.
That's
I
a
will.
different team.
And the Jaguars going number 4.
Jaguars going to go 2
Who was their starter last year? Mariota?
yeah.
No, is he not?
No, he just signed this year.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just,
We're gonna move on to we're gonna go straight to the biggest bitch of this division. I have Bill O'Brien because he made the most garbage trade.
I don't think there's any arguments here. It's
Yeah.
obviously Bill O'Brien. What an idiot. Like, the guy,
Yeah.
it's not like it's like a one-time bad. This guy's made many, many bad moves like that.
Well, not only that, you do realize that the Vikings got more for Stephon Diggs than the Houston Texans got for DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't
Absolutely
know what
ridiculous.
they thought was going to happen there.
I think Bill O'Brien is living in like 2017 where David Johnson's like the elite running back. Or was it 2016?
David
Whatever it
Johnson's
was.
a really talented guy, but where the fuck
Is he still?
Okay, well here's
I don't know.
okay, fine. We're gonna go to miscellaneous questions, and I'll just jump to the David Johnson one. Health aside, is David Johnson the most talented running back in this division?
You mean outside of Derrick Henry?
Well, no,
Of
I
course.
meant Derrick Henry included.
The answer is no.
Of course not. But Derrick Henry might be the most talented running back in football.
In the league, yeah.
David Johnson had some really,
I would
really
say
good years.
David Johnson is the third most talented running back. I'd say Jonathan Taylor is going to be better than David Johnson this year.
Aggressive. I
I
don't
think it's aggressive, absolutely. It's a hot take, but I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a very good running back. And obviously, Derrick Henry is the best running back in the division, maybe in the league.
Derrick Henry is so hands down, something close. But no, I think David Johnson's way better than I think you're giving him credit for. David Johnson can still do it all.
Did he do it all in Arizona?
for the 5 weeks that
He
he's healthy.
lost
Yeah,
his job
that's what I mean.
to a rookie,
Which rookie?
Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds was good.
Okay. Was he better than David Johnson? Yes.
Apparently.
Okay. Is Chase Edmonds better than David Johnson?
Well, now Kenyon Drake's the best one there.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake,
Apparently-
who was basically a backup.
I'm just saying that David Johnson went from literally like the 3rd pick in your fantasy league,
Yeah.
like 1 year,
To trash.
to trash. And I'm saying,
But it's-
health aside, he's a pretty good guy. I just
Yeah, I agree.
Well, how old is he? Do we know his age? Is he like 30?
no one knows his age.
It's unknown. You look it up, it just says unknown. There's too many David Johnsons in the world.
David Johnson is 28. He's Dylan's age. He's born 15 days before Dylan.
For those who don't know, Dylan is the third Petrovski.
He'll be on the NFC podcast
That
tomorrow.
is true. Okay, moving on. Next question. Is Houston destined to waste away Deshaun Watson's talent? Just a yes or no.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Why?
Bill O'Brien.
He's definitely going to be
Fair
fired.
enough. Yeah, I think Bill O'Brien will be fired after this year. I think if the Texans don't go 11-5, they're gonna fire Bill O'Brien.
Next question. This one's a little long-winded. So Derrick Henry signed recently a 4-year, $50 million extension starting this year at his age 26 season, and it ends after the 2023 season, where he'll be entering as a UFA at his age 30 season. My question is, over under 2.5 more years with the Titans for Derrick Henry.
I think he's going to fill out his contract.
I think so too.
Does it change your mind that he has a contractual out, like a specific contractual out
Is
clause?
it a player option or a team option?
It's a team contractual out where they can get out of it after the 2021 season. So after 2 more years, they can get out of it with minimal dead money left, or they can play him for his age 28 and 29 seasons as well at a $12 million cap hit. My question is, does Tennessee just ride the shit out of him for the next 2 years?
They will.
That's the
And
thing.
then for his age 28 and 29 season, cut him and be like, yep, well, we're done with you.
That's who Joe it is.
That's what happened to DeMarco Murray.
That's why I say 2.5. So like if it's 3, if you say over, then he's going for the rest of his
I
contract. If
think
you say
over.
under, then he's just gonna play the next 2
They're
years.
I think they're gonna keep him.
I don't know. I think they might DeMarco Murray, depending on how much they want to keep pushing for the finals. If
Well,
they're a
the
good
question
team-
is, how good is his body? Will his body withstand another 2 years of this damage?
He led the league last year in rush attempts, 303. He's probably poised
How
to
many
lead.
total touches?
gotta be close to like
I don't
350.
know.
I want to say close to 400.
He had a
He's
lot
not
of.
getting 100 receptions, dude. It's gonna be 350.
Wait, how many carries?
303 carries.
303.
Like
350.
Yeah.
Zeke has also led the league a decent amount, but Zeke was 2 behind him, 301. But I think Derrick Henry is poised to be number 1 or 2 this year.
Derrick Henry will be number 1.
Yeah,
You don't think Mike McCarthy is going to feed the shit out of Zeke
he will.
this year?
Hold on. The Cowboys have a very good passing offense.
They're both gonna be fed, but I think Derrick Henry's gonna be fed a little more. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think
fair
Henry's
enough.
going to be fed a little more. The Cowboys have receivers. They're going to throw the ball.
Maybe, well, yeah.
I think total touches Zeke will have more. I think rush attempts Henry will have more.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So over under.
Over under, I say over. I think Henry
Connor.
stays.
I think he's gonna honestly. I think they might marry him. I think they're gonna try and push as hard as they can for the next 2 years to win. And
Burn his legs.
They're gonna run him 350 times every year, and then by the 3rd year, even by the end of the 2nd year, you're gonna see it's gonna be worn. And then at the end of that,
My question is, why would Henry agree to this contract? Like, it's obvious what the team is.
Pretty high
having.
guarantee.
High guarantee, but
so,
still.
it's so late in his career. It's not right after his rookie contract.
I don't know. Running backs aren't getting that much, man. You kind
They're
of
not getting that much, that's fair, but why would he agree to a contract where the team could cut him after 2 years? He knows what they're going to do. He knows what they're going to do to his legs.
He's confident
His
in himself.
body. He's confident that his body can withstand another 2.5 years of this shit.
Well,
It's
all
hard
it
to
has to
predict.
withstand is his year 26 this year and next year. If he survives this year and next year, good. Then they can keep him, and then he's home free for the next 2 years.
Yes.
It's better than if they had contractual out after last year. Then he was definitely going to be cut before 29. I think it's like there's probably give and take here. He's just wondering whether they're going to run him to the ground the next 2 years.
They will. They're going to run him into the ground every year. I don't care if it's his year
But
30
is he going to? Well,
contract.
they're going to run him a ton. But is he going to be in the ground, or is he the type of guy who's going to be able to withstand it?
Well, the thing is, his body is built differently than most running backs we've seen in the league. That guy is a solid human being. He's tall, he's heavy, he's thick, he's bigger than most linebackers.
And then the New York Jets are going to see him as a 30-year-old and be like, "Yeah, we'll pay you a ton of money."
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
going to pair you
yeah.
up with Le'Veon Bell, who's 100 years old.
They're
Let's
gonna bring
win a
back-
Super Bowl.
They're gonna bring back LaDainian
Right. Well,
Tomlinson.
actually, it'd be right after Le'Veon Bell expired, and it's like, "Yep, Derrick Henry
Then
time."
they're going to re-sign him.
Last question: is Gardner Minshew the next Ryan Fitzpatrick?
no.
No. Gardner Minshew has way too many balls to be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well,
Like
not even
more
that.
than 2, or
No, he's got more than 5.
Yeah. So one thing about the reason why Ryan Fitzpatrick has lasted so long being like a traveling whatever quarterback,
The journeyman.
is because he's so goddamn smart. Like the guy's
That's what I said.
He's a genius. So aside from being a Harvard grad, everyone talks about that. Like yeah, I mean, you can just watch him and like he's very aware of what he's doing.
He executes the game plan
He knows what he's doing. Whereas
every time.
Gardner Minshew is the opposite. Actually, he snaps the ball and it looks like he's just kind of looking around. Like
He's not a smart guy.
Matt Saracen and Friday Night Lights. You know, he's just kind of making
He's
shit
an improviser.
happen.
He
Yeah.
just does things. You know, he makes shit happen.
No, yeah.
Whereas Ryan Fitzpatrick is very much a smart player. Very little physical talent in Ryan Fitzpatrick. He does not have a good
almost
arm.
none.
Almost none. He's not a very fast guy, but he'll make plays with his legs. But he's not quick. He doesn't have a good arm, but he'll make plays down the field. Whereas Gardner Minshew has like kind of a little bit of physical talent. But the thing is his talent is in his gigantic balls.
Yeah, it's massive QAnon.
He will make stupid ass throws to DJ Chark down the field, and somehow he comes down with the ball.
okay, then maybe let me rephrase this. I mean, why I gave that comparison is like, is Gardner Minshew's eventual destiny to be an overqualified backup and a fringe starter, or do you think he's actually like a legit starter in this league for a team?
I think Gardner Minshew's eventual outcome is we won't be talking about Gardner Minshew much in the next 2 years.
You think so?
Gardner Minshew's not that good for quarterback, guys. Yeah, I think he's pretty bad.
He's bad.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he's not bad, but he's
pretty
not
bad.
good.
I like Gardner. I think he's fun
Wouldn't
to watch.
you kill to have him as a backup quarterback?
I mean, yeah, maybe, but at the same time,
I'd kill to have him as a backup quarterback.
he's pretty inaccurate. Like he's about as good as goddamn Devlin Hodges out there. Like I watched Devlin Hodges and I watched Gardner Minshew, and genuinely, I think they're both about maybe Dev's a little worse, but like they're both not ready to be quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay, well, we are done with that division, and now we are going to go to
God, that division
last
sucks.
division, which is the AFC West. Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
This division's a lot better.
So Chiefs, not surprising, they are the odds-on favorite to win this division. 11.5 wins by Odd Sharks, over-under. And this is interesting, actually. Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. Odd Shark has them all at 7.5 wins.
Wait, sorry, who was the favorite?
The Chiefs,
What do you think?
Well, okay, so now what was their over/under?
11.5.
And everyone else was at what?
7.5. We are going to move away from these team-based questions because they are taking a long time, other than rank the teams. Connor, you can go first. Rank these teams in order. I assume you have the Chiefs number 1, but how do you see the next 3 going?
What an assumption.
Yeah, Chargers.
Have you seen the Raiders this
Yeah,
year?
are you crazy? Actually, I've been super high on the Raiders. I think it's going to go Chiefs are over that 11-5 mark. And then I'm going to go with... Oh, this is a tough one because they're all so mediocre. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy
Wow.
talk. I want to go crazy tonight.
Let's go wild.
Let's go with kooky.
Let's have another drink. Let's let loose.
But so I'm going to go Vegas number 2. Then Denver 3. And then Chargers first.
Sounds like you're
Chargers
struggling to like.
Fourth.
Sounds like you're like struggling to literally remember the teams there.
No,
but
I'm trying to just because they're all like it's hard to differentiate. They're all so
Right.
equal.
They're all very equal.
So
That's
this
why
is the
Odd Shark has
hardest
them all
fucking
the
one.
same
Do
record.
you wanna know something funny? Like when I was reading the Sports Illustrated previews for each of these teams, they go to like their local beat reporter who writes the thing. Other than the Chiefs, where the guy said they were going to go 14-2, every other guy for Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, like 10-6. So apparently we're going to have a division
Not likely.
of 14-2, and then 3 teams of 10-6.
Not too shabby. It's a good division.
This is a low key the best division in the league.
Possibly good.
Okay, Ryan, your turn. How do you rank these teams?
I'm gonna say the Chiefs are gonna go 12-4. I think
Conservative, but probably fair.
conservative, but yeah, I think they're good. But they're not gonna blow the tits off the league. I think the second. I think you said the Raiders are gonna be second. I disagree. I think the Broncos are gonna come second. They have a lot of
That's
talent.
just as hot a take.
That's a hot
That's
take.
just as hot a take.
It's a very hot take. I think the Broncos are going to push for a wild card spot. I think
Crazy.
Drew Lock is going to develop very quickly. I think Melvin Gordon is going to step into that role. They're running
Drew
back
Lock
core.
is a
Hold
glorified
on.
Gardner Minshew.
I'm
is what
talking.
Drew Lock is.
Drew Lock is Drew Lock. They say he has a body part of a horse. Drew
His
Lock,
hands the size of horses.
he's a very good quarterback. He's a quick thinking guy. He's got a fantastic arm. And what does he have? He has a really good running back core. He's got Melvin Gordon. He's got Philip Lindsay.
Two Pro Bowlers.
2 Pro Bowlers in the backfield.
Philip Lindsay sucks.
Melvin
And a
Gordon,
good defense.
former Pro Bowler.
Melvin Gordon actually might be good this year. Who knows?
Who's their defense? Who linebackers do they have? They have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb.
They got a good
Both
defense.
superstars.
They
if
got a
you
good
ask
defense,
me.
even aside from that.
Even outside the linebackers, they have a
say.
really good defense. So I think they're going to come easily second. I think the Chargers are going to come third.
Gross.
I think the Chargers with Justin Herbert under
I was
center.
gonna say.
Tyrod Taylor's going to lose his job week 4. Justin Herbert's going to come in and light the league on fire.
Justin Herbert might be another Josh Rosen situation. See, Josh Rosen got cut today.
Yeah, Josh Rosen is
That's so
kind of a
embarrassing.
disaster.
Feel bad for the guy.
I really liked him coming into the league.
Never
but
got a chance.
He never had a chance. Yeah.
I'm just gonna butt in here, and I actually agree with Ryan. I have the exact same ranking. I have Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, except I don't see any team in this division other than the Chiefs making the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
Start bench cut. Drew Lock, Tyrod Taylor, Derek Carr. Ryan, you go first.
Starting Drew Lock with his massive
Hands.
Hubs.
game talent. I'm gonna bench Tyrod. I think Tyrod's a good backup. I'll cut Derek Carr because what has Derek Carr done lately to inspire any confidence? Not much. Tyrod Taylor is very mobile still. He can. I mean, he's not exactly a superstar, but as a backup quarterback, he's okay. And Derek Carr is like not someone useful on a team that's pushing for a championship.
I hate the way you look at this question about like actually looking for the backup.
Who's the best backup is my second
Yeah,
question.
that's
It's
a
open ended.
weird-
You can do it as
I
you
know,
want.
but it's just a weird way to look at it. I'm gonna go the normal way, and I'm just gonna rank them. So I would honestly start Derek Carr. You fucking asshole. I think
Over Drew Lock.
Drew Lock suck. Okay, it's a lie. Drew Lock doesn't suck, but I would then rank Drew Lock number 2, bench. I guess that would be, and then I would cut Tyrod
Why?
because we've
What
seen
has Tyrod done to offend you lately?
Nothing.
Exactly. So why you
Tyrod's-
cut him?
But we've seen Tyrod. We know Tyrod. The guy's and
he
it's
really
like,
isn't that good. Okay, moving forward. Who's the biggest bitch in this division?
Patty Mahomes.
While you guys think
Patty Mahomes.
Fuck Patty Mahomes.
that's good. That's good reasoning. I was gonna go with Marcus Mariota,
What?
Why?
Why? He's actually a nice guy.
that guy.
He's a super nice dude.
former number 2 pick, gets benched for a has-been in Ryan Tannehill, then goes to Las Vegas and gets
has-been.
benched for Derek Carr.
Never invite me back to the
He
show.
gets benched.
You called Ryan Tannehill a has-been.
He
Do
is a
more
future bin.
research about Ryan Tannehill. He's not that bad.
He's a future bin.
That's true.
He's really not that bad. If you look at how his numbers as a whole, he did pretty game manager.
Like, yeah, he was bad in Miami sometimes.
Look, in hindsight,
but, everyone would be.
In hindsight, maybe I would change Marcus Mariota, but I put him down when I originally did this, and I'm going to stick to the answer for diversity's sake. We're going to miscellaneous cues. Over under 0.5 Super Bowls for this Chiefs team.
0.5?
As in,
They've
do you
already
think
they
they're
don't
won
have
one.
one.
No, 0.5 more. God damn it!
Well, they
Oh,
win
do you think they'll win another one?
another
is the
ring.
question.
Yes.
Yes. They will win one more ring. And
Okay, what do you
they
mean
will
by this
all,
team?
Then they'll all disband
This core,
like a
I mean,
boy
like-
band.
So I mean, the guy.
So, if Tyreek Hill leaves and they win another one, does that count?
yes.
No, Patty Mahomes and Andy
Are
Reid.
you asking Patty Mahomes?
The team is Andy
No,
Reid and Patty
well,
Mahomes. That's the
I
dynasty.
have a
Okay,
Patty
that's
Mahomes.
the question.
No,
Reid
I have
and
a Patty
Mahomes.
Mahomes question, but we're gonna go with the team that's centered around Patty Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
No, but even
I
the
mean,
Patriots, you look at dynasties. A dynasty is connected to the quarterback and the coach.
Yes.
The receivers and everybody else are more expendable. It's the coach and the quarterback.
Fine.
So,
The dynasty is Mahomes and
are we
Reid.
talking about if Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid together will win one more Super Bowl?
Yes, they will. The guy's a goddamn freak. Probably one of the most. We're gonna talk about talent. Probably one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen.
One of,
One of. I didn't say
One of.
Yeah.
sure. But
With
one,
one,
of also maybe the most talented quarterback I've ever seen has only won one ring.
fair, but that quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is who we're talking about.
That's who we're talking about.
Doesn't have the same type of coaching that Andy Reid is. Andy Reid is a way better coach than Mike
different
McCarthy.
kind of animal.
It's not even fucking close.
You guys mentioned something that kind of like was another question I had. Who ultimately has the better career, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's already done. Patty Mahomes.
Why?
Their first, okay, so
Why is it already done?
Let me just finish.
tell
Their
you right
first
now, let
2
me finish.
years as starters, Aaron Rodgers, 8,472 yards, 52 TDs, 20 interceptions, 64.3 completion rating. Mahomes,
Different
This is
time.
unfair stat. This is a very unfair stat.
Different time.
Yeah,
it is a different time.
very
Still,
unfair stat.
you can kind of compare it a little bit, but Mahomes,
But they've all
9,128 yards, so more yards, 76 TDs, 18 interceptions, 65.9 completion rating. In your opinion, who has the better career?
I think Aaron Rodgers will have a better career. He is a more complete quarterback, if you ask me. I think Patty Mahomes is not necessarily a flash in a pan. I think that's very reductionist, but I think he is. But I think he's not as good as people think he is.
That's crazy. What do you mean he's not as good as people think he is?
I think he's going to
They
regress.
think he's the best quarterback in
You know,
football.
you and I
Do
had a
not-
bet last year about how many touchdowns he would throw, and I took a very conservative
the
number.
the
and
over
I
under was
won.
40 and he threw 37.
Did he throw 37
He
last
threw
year?
37.
After he sprained his ankle, dislocated his
He
kneecap.
threw.
Well, you
dots.
were wrong.
Whatever. Sure, I was wrong.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do another bet on him this year?
He also missed a couple weeks last
You
year.
said the over under this year. I'll take another bet on him.
It's just injury dependent.
I'll take your money.
I still say 40. He does 40 every
I'll
year.
take under.
You're gonna take. It's just injury dependent. It's 100%.
Assuming full health, 16 game season. Is it 16? Is it 17 games? now?
16 game season.
Yeah, it's still 16 games.
17 weeks.
Yeah. Assuming full health, 16 game season, what would be the over under on the touchdowns?
40.
I take the under.
Really?
I take the under.
I think.
I would probably smash the over on that.
No, yeah, anything above that's crazy.
You know, 40 is a lot of touchdowns, guys.
Yeah, that's what I
know,
mean. That's
I know.
what I
Like,
just
A
said.
lot of leagues don't have more than a lot of seasons don't have more than 40 touchdown passes.
I just said that. I said 40 is crazy talk. Like if you get he's gonna get like 42. 37. He got 37 and he had like a down year.
What do you mean a down
He
year?
missed the 2
Because he
games.
wasn't as good as his 50
He missed
touchdown
2
season.
games.
Oh, he missed 2 games.
That's fucking 6 touchdowns at least.
6 touchdowns at
So
least.
you guys also don't think then that
Yes. Why
If he
you-
throws 3 touchdowns a game,
That's what he does.
He's throwing over 50.
Okay, but he got pretty damn close. And he even does. The year before he threw 50. How many times has Aaron Rodgers thrown 50?
0.
Exactly.
Okay.
so then
Hold on.
Hold on.
Aaron
is
Rodgers.
So you're telling me Patty Mahomes?
Hold on.
Aaron Rodgers.
hold
Hold on. Aaron Rodgers does not have the talent that Pat Mahomes does around him, including Andy Reid. as a
Holy
talent.
shit, fair. But at the same time, Patty Mahomes is just at least that wasn't the question. He asked you who's gonna have a better career. Who has the best career? Tom Brady. He's not the most talented guy.
Okay, fine. The
The question was who's going to have a better career.
Maybe
I think
I'm answering the wrong
Patty
question.
Mahomes has already had arguably a better career. Has as many rings, as many MVPs. It's more.
Whoa. But the thing about look, Aaron Rodgers in the third season as a starter got a ring, and then he just hasn't had one since. So
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to happen since, and
And also, they sat his ass for a long time.
But I just
Yeah.
but let's look at their legacies
Point-
beside each other. They both have one ring. They both have one MVP. They've one thrown for 50 touchdowns in a season, one thrown for 46. As long as Patty Mahomes keeps it up, it's not even close. It's done. Patty Mahomes.
What if Aaron Rodgers wins one more ring?
Then it's a different argument now.
I don't think. I mean, for those listeners out there, I'm a Packers fan, and I don't see that happening.
I
Why?
can see
They
it
went to the
happening.
NFC Championship last
They went to the
year.
NFC Championship last year.
Yeah.
They were one game away from the dance.
Stranger things have happened.
That's true. I just
The fuck?
I don't.
When
I
you
don't
have Aaron
see
Rodgers
it.
on your team, anything is possible. The guy's a superstar. Even if
great,
he's
but-
50 years old, the guy's a friggin' superstar.
And you have Jordan Love,
I
guys.
don't look. I
And they have
don't.
Jordan Love. And
I
they've
don't
got
necessarily-
friggin' Alan Lazard.
I don't necessarily believe that the management of the team is going to put all their chips in to try to make a championship team for Aaron Rodgers in the last years. That's all I'm saying.
They've already shown they're not going to try and do that by drafting Jordan Love. But that's not what Ryan's saying. Ryan's saying is when you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, you never fucking know. You can
You can count that guy out.
you can have a shitty team, which they did last year, and you can
Which
still
they've
make
had
it to
almost
the,
every year he's been on the team.
They still became they got the fucking bye. Then they made it to the NFC Championship, and they lost to the San Francisco Niners, who were the goddamn best defense we've seen in 5 years. It's gonna happen.
Rough. Shit happens.
Sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. They're a good team.
Interesting.
They're a good player.
Aaron Rodgers is a good player. Hot take.
Yeah, a hot take.
So, wait, so just finish up on that point. Yes or no on better career?
Yeah, 100%. Already does.
I'd say a 20% chance Patty Mahomes is a better career than Aaron
He
Rodgers.
already
So
does.
no, just no. Just say
Pretty
no.
much no.
Okay. Over under 4.5 starts for Justin Herbert this year.
Over.
Yeah, probably over because they're gonna be shitty.
They're gonna have a rough start. Tyrod Taylor's gonna get benched in week 5 or 6, and Justin Herbert's gonna take over, and I think he'll be effective.
Okay. And I don't really have a opinion on Justin Herbert. We'll just finish off on this for the AFC then. Las Vegas Raiders. Best or worst home field advantage, in your opinion?
Oh my god.
So
Definitely the worst home field advantage.
yeah,
No,
so
I
here's the way,
disagree.
like, there's two ways of thinking this. One, these guys are in Las Vegas, but they're used to it. This is the Raiders players, so they take it easy. But the guys coming in, they're only there for a week, and like, oh shit, we're in Vegas. Maybe enough of them go out. They're kind of hungover, not feeling too good for that Sunday game. Boom, you're winning that home game. Or does it work out where they're going in for that week? We're going to be professional, whereas the Vegas players, they're there all the time. Maybe they get some connects. Maybe they crack every so often. Boom, they're gambling. They're partying. They're not focused.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I have.
There's no off season in Vegas. There's no like, oh, I live here. Let's like take a week off or take 2 weeks off. No, they're gonna be partying every weekend.
No, they're not. No, they're not, man.
Yes, they are.
I was actually in Vegas for the Super Bowl. And what I saw when I was walking through the Vegas like casinos was they were not stopping gambling. In fact,
don't.
what they did was they just had their phone like this, which for the listeners out there is like just in front of them. They weren't even looking at what they were gambling. Like, they were just watching their phones as they're pulling the lever / pushing the button. Also, that's so like, by the way, like for slots and everything, it's so just not that enthusiastic
No.
to like push a fucking button. I
Yeah,
like to pull
and
a
you
lever.
know the machine's fucking you over too. Like it's built to screw you. Whereas if you play the cards, at least you have like the odds of the cards in your favor.
My favorite game that I saw there, like favorite as in like the most amusing game I saw when I was watching, was the virtual horse racing,
That was so cool.
where like literally they have like an animatronic track, and then every different round they put new odds on the horses, and guys just bet. And then they watch these animatronic horses run around the track, and there's also like a graphic up top if you want a little more excitement. And they're like, "Come on, you fucking like number 3!" Like, he doesn't
little
win.
robot glitching.
Yeah. And it's all set up to take your money.
Yeah, well, no shit.
Whenever a horse gets the most money, that horse loses.
Loses for sure. That's a heavy horse. Got a lot of weight on him. Got a lot of cash.
And they all lose, as per usual.
And the rabbit wins again.
No
Okay,
bet on the
but
rabbit.
yeah, so best or worst home field advantage?
I honestly think the worst. I think they're gonna have trouble. I don't think they're gonna be like wasted every game or anything. But like,
Derek Carr shows up on the field just yakking everywhere.
we need Mariota. He's also yakking it. No, I think they're gonna have not necessarily trouble with game day situations, but I think that during the week, in terms of preparation, they're gonna be a little less focused than other teams.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I don't think Vegas is gonna be that big. I think these stars aren't like that destroyed by like they party wherever the fuck they are.
Yeah, but Vegas parties more than every other city.
No,
in
that's
the
fair.
country.
It's gonna maybe not more than every other city. I think it's gonna be like New York, but a little.
No, hold
more
on. With
tame.
COVID, they do because Vegas is open. They're
Everywhere's
for-
open.
Not really.
Kinda.
They're trying to like.
Yeah, but
rein it
Vegas
in.
is open, but it's still not as open as it could be.
Yeah.
It's still down. I mean, maybe this is the best year for the Raiders to like focus up, and then the next year's they party. That stadium looks gorgeous, by the way. I drove past it.
Oh my god!
It is like,
State of the art.
it looks like a Death Star, just in the middle of the fucking desert.
They have the Super Bowl coming there soon, eh?
Okay, well, didn't really answer the question, but that's it.
I did answer the question, but okay.
Yeah, you did.
answer
Yeah,
the
you're right.
question as well. I think it's not going to be that big of an issue.
Okay, so the answer is no. That's it. That's the
The
AFC
answer is
preview. We'll come back soon with the NFC preview. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate being on.
This was fun. Thank you for this.